Alrighty then, gamers, we are a little late. It is Easter after all. Yours truly had a nice and cozy late Easter dinner with the parents. But fear not, we made it just in time, and we got something special for this week. Oh yeah, you might be able to tell. There's a lot of green stuff in there. Okay, so we have passed the 5 p.m. CET mark, so let's get the pleasantries out of the way. Hello to each and every one of you watching currently the weekly Bounty Hunters FT7 show. If it's your first time with us today, we are a, like I said, weekly first to 7 show match event happening every Sunday for players of all skill levels and regions. And the name of the game is, of course, Guilty Gear Strive. And because we've had a very recent DLC addition to the roster, we do what we usually do on the first FT7. Since the release, we got a lot of ABBA incoming tonight. I also took water in the wrong pipe just before we got started. So everything going wrong today on the production side, but fear not. You know, fuck it, we ball. You know how it is on Bounty Hunters. You know how it's every week on this show. Don't have time to talk smack about the matchups as soon as I think we should have our first couple ready to go. And luckily, I guess yours truly has played decent amount of ABBA already as well. So luckily, won't be one of those casters who have no idea what this character does. Thank God. Because informative cast is the only superpower for QKGG. Yeah. Only one mirror today though, which is gonna be the second matchup of the evening. But for now, we're gonna start the party with LagBoy versus Daugion. Daugion's gonna be the first one piloting ABBA. ABBA, of course, where to start? Very interesting character. I'm gonna throw my own 50 cents out there and go ahead on the record and say, doesn't actually matter. For me personally, and I've heard a lot of people saying this as well, it doesn't really matter that much at the moment where ABBA is gonna land on the power tiers. I think ABBA is genuinely the most fun character that they've released so far in Guilty Gear Strive. And that's pretty big. I think she has like merit for me, at least for personally, just to pick up as a character, play on the side, even if she were to be weak. But of course, it's like day 3, day 4. They're still cooking stuff on the Twitters and what have you. And well, that's why we have these 8 players today on our show to show what has been cooked so far since the release of the character. Extremely offensive oriented character, or perhaps she's a little weird. She's extremely defensive and extremely offensive at the same time. A stance character, balls to the walls, it's my turn, go fuck yourself as soon as Moroha is activated, or Jealous Rage, or as we call it in the Finnish fighting game community, Jelly. I think the Moroha gauge is colloquially known as jelly at the moment. How much jelly you have left? I like it. It's cute. But yeah, let me signal the players that they're indeed good to go as soon as they want to. You're not cooking? Nah, I don't believe. Everybody has to be cooking. You input either Key Crab or the transformation special, and I think everybody's cooking at least to some extent at the moment. Character does a lot of fun things, does a lot of strong things, as long as, you know, you have the gauge to pay for it. The character is quite difficult in the sense that I think her combos are easy. That's pretty straightforward. the combo pathing though, so that you can get maximum value and maximize the time that you are spending in Moroha mode or Jealous Rage. That's gonna be the tricky part. And then of course the moments when you have to play without Moroha. When you gotta try to find your opening, especially if you go out of you run out of your key gauge completely. You, for example, get blue bursted back to the neutral as you're just about to run out. Those are the tough moments for ABBA that we've so far identified. It's kind of difficult to get back on your track if you completely run out, because that means you won't be able to activate their just options for you at a given situation are not great. And even if you get like a stray key grab, it's not gonna give you more than 25% of your gauge, which is very, very little. Alright, now getting into it. The cool thing about ABBA is though, if you do manage to pressure your opponent in the normal mode, a lot of your just hitting the opponent is gonna build a little bit of a key gauge back. At first activation straight into that jump heavy. Extremely, I don't like to use the word priority, but that would be something that comes to your mind whenever you see ABBA swinging those buttons around, especially in the air. Jump heavy just covers like area all around her with massive hitboxes. A lot of her moves are like that. Now, of course, in terms of mobility, she's kind of like a tower with her normal movement speed, but she has a lot of options that move her around, such as tilt to 236K, a little overhead kick, which actually is not an overhead in normal mode at all. Then they're pulling you back. RC, do we get an activation? Don't even need it, found the hit! Some of the moves that you would love to go naturally into to activate the Moroha when you're from your normal mode, such as key grab, will actually also build a generous amount of Moroha gauge back to you. Jump slash, immediate burst from Daugion, activation, but unfortunately into Kabari. It's the most unfortunate thing on ABBA if you actually activate your gauge and then have to block your opponent's pressure. Those are the times that you probably want to save like YRCs or bursts for, because there's no mercy. If the opponent is comboing you, your Moroha gauge is going to be counting down. Nice activation during, oh, a little bit too much forward moving momentum. That was just a very simple combo that was already, oh, is he going to power through? The power of Jansai, here we go! The DP, the signature move of ABBA, we're shooting some stuff. Now Daugion is out of Moroha gauge here, able to misses the air normal out of your instant air dash. That's very common for ABBA. Frame trap into the Rekka and get the close slash 2 heavy activation kill. Daugion, first one to take a point tonight, and it is from our ABBA player. Not only is this character extremely fun to play, but it's very interesting to cast as well. I think ABBA's gonna be a crowd favorite, no matter who you are. There's just no way that you're gonna be hating this character, right? Right, guys? Because nobody hated ABBA in Plus R either, right? Alright, finding a hit. 1, 2, 3. We still have a little bit of Moroha left. We get an deactivation, misses the pickup. Now, Daugion is gonna pop here out of this hard wall break, but that was already a lot of damage done. It is perhaps reasonable, like a lot of people have said that maybe the optimal way to play against ABBA is to kind of quotations camp her. So take it easy and just stay outside of her range. And try to perhaps win, but it's super RC, okay! We got it still. But now, LagBoy will have to work through the last of Daugion's hit points, and ABBA is one of those kind of heavyweight HP characters in the sense that she has a pretty good amount of defense as well as guts, so her EHP is relatively high. Activation here, straight into the 2K, which you can play as a pure meaty there. The Rekka activation into dash 2K is a true meaty. Right, running out of gauge, immediate gunshot, lost frames, and super here! My turn to play! Now the kicks, oh! Counter hit from the tilt! Tilting forward, is that gonna be a kill? Will it stick? Yes, and that should be a kill! Perfect! I really love how, oops, what am I pressing? Second point for Daugion. So, the cool thing about the key grab as well, close to the wall, is that I think it's considered like two hits and it deals decent amount of wall damage, so there's a very decent chance that if you're anywhere close to the wall ending your combo in a key grab, it will actually stick with a decent what's the word I'm looking for? Well, it will decently often stick the opponent to the wall as well. Here we go, we got some Oki throwing Daugion out of the corner, but we still have a tether attached. However, both characters will be able to utilize that. Quick activation, got air to air, but done. Jaie, if you have time for, is it 7 frames, 9 frames of the DP guard point? I think it's, is it 9 frames? Another parry is 7 frames startup, but I think Jaie's guard was something like 9. But anyway, if you have time to start with those parry frames or guard point frames or armor frames or whatever you want to call them, they are a little different from armor in terms of like how they function if your opponent hits you and stuff. But technically, Ava will just power through everything. There are very few characters in the game that can actually reversal through. I think ZoKHiZ would be one with RTL because you kind of avoid it and then come back, but very few others can do it. Oh, get to check what's what. That's kind of cool as well. Even though you are forced into like 10 frames of recovery during the Moroha pop, it will still function as kind of like a time stop, just like Nago's mask on, right? So you can kind of confirm what's going on and then adjust your block based to that. Finding the low, quick Rekka. Looking for one nice bait on the parry. However, the downside of going for throws on your offense during Moroha is that I think one grab spends like 25-ish% of Moroha gauge, so it's extremely expensive maneuver to go for in terms of like how much gauge you're gonna spend for it. Getting a throw into. I wonder, we were waiting for something, perhaps a burst here. Speaking of burst, LagBoy is gonna whiff their own and get the punish there from Daugion as well. Very rare situation against gold bursts. If gold bursts are blocked, there's very few things that you can do about it unless you block them in the air or something. But that time, LagBoy completely whiffed their gold burst, which will actually make it punishable, just like all bursts. In fact, it's worse than blue burst in that situation because, you know, it's not global. It doesn't hit the whole screen. Gold burst has still that legacy, just bursting around you kind of a hitbox. Right, close up Yozan. And both of these characters share the same functionality. The instant air dash over the opponent, Yozan, or instant overhead, instant over their head. Not overhead, but over their character. And then use the jump slash for Abba. Nice delay again. But like we said, that Moroha is gonna unfortunately run out. Nice. Wait, got the pick up there still during the deactivation. Very nice. If you are working with a launcher that has a a lot of pop-ups, such as I guess Danzai is one of those, there is certainly potential for you to still pick up the combo, especially with the use of RC. Speaking of RCs, out at the overhead. We're breaking the wall, hard knockdown, potentially have enough Moroha gauge to, miss the timing on the meaty overhead, which ended up getting Daugion thrown there. From which angle? I was able to recover in time, now get that throw and the mix-up. Wait, the tatami was not on time? Oh wait, it was. It still ended up hitting Daugion. It looked like an interesting situation there. Air to air, Yozan into a juggle. Too much momentum going forward. Throwing Daugion out of the corner. Which is gonna hit first? RC, that's beautiful. So that kick super from Abba is gonna track full screen, and it's like the most massive box of red you could ever imagine. So technically you should not be able to press too much after it, but if you are in a position to RC like that, go ahead, save yourself, especially if it gets you the round. I'm completely whiffing the reversals. It has the second hit, but I think LagBoy knew about the second hit. You can definitely punish between those hits if you block it point blank, but at that range, it's probably the smartest thing to wait for the second hit to go through before reaching for the cookie jar. Low Rekka hits. Remember, public service announcement, the second hit is low. Here we go, and this is very valuable for LagBoy, wasting a lot of Daugion's Moroha gauge pop. At least the 2K this reversal should hit and put LagBoy on the board. Not too late, actually perfectly on time. 1-3, still a lot of time to run this set back. It is a new character after all, so I mean, a lot of us have probably played plenty of ABBA versus ABBA matches during these couple of days, but you know, everybody plays a little different, and you might still need a little time to adjust. Pop during the combo, reversal parry will get LagBoy out of that sticky situation, or perhaps sticky situation. I don't know how sticky we should consider getting pressured by normal mode ABBA B. It's gonna whip? No. Or rather hit. The BBB dropping in the corner, missing the TKOs, and that would have potentially hit. LagBoy still with a very decent life advantage. There we go. Glimpses of the Moroha. Cross-up jump heavy, the jump slash in the normal mode. Activation, this is tough. Into a throw. It's gonna waste a lot of meter. LagBoy will find the burst, bait the deflect shield. Lots of value for that read. Not only did they take the round, but also got that 50% out of Daugion's burst gauge. Here we go, lots of plus frames there. One more. That time counter hit, so we're gonna convert big time. Should go into a wall break. Yes, indeed. Wham bam. Denchi Jin. Alright, LagBoy is definitely starting to warm up here. Oh, interesting, parrying the Escabari wall break media there. That definitely works. A parry from ABBA is very interesting kind of a thing. It's very slow, as we mentioned, 7 frames, so it's not really a move that you can throw out there. It will either be an extremely hard read against something, or then you will have to save it against stuff like projectiles that you can react to. Now, during that Moroha mode, that kick super is going to be mad plus frames, as we saw here. Go for it again. The normal mode a little less so, but it kind of functions as an emergency check at neutral if your opponent is trying to zone you. In fact, now that we mentioned zoning, ABBA does have quite a lot of tools against getting zoned. One, of course, the most obvious being the parry, which technically doesn't better your position per se, but it does increase your Moroha gauge by 25%. And if you are ABBA with full Moroha gauge ready to activate, that's generally considered like almost like a one situation already. No, the reversal super is gonna be good here. And now Daugion almost completely dry of Moroha, won't be able to activate. Remember, unless you have at least over 25% Moroha, which is indicated by that little, that little divide there at the end of the Moroha gauge. Unless you have at least that much, you won't be able to activate before you're able to build that back. Alright, Daugion getting another one. 4-1. It is definitely a matchup that will, require a little bit of understanding how to, abuse ABBA's weaknesses. Just like bursting against Nago is super important. Bursting against ABBA, or just using your defensive resources like burst and YRC at the right places, is gonna be one of the most crucial things to, outplaying ABBA. I gotta throw RC and a kill. Cost a little bit with that. Well, I guess Daugion didn't necessarily have to spend that 50 burst, but in the heat of the moment, sometimes you end up spending it without looking at the opponent's life gauge. That was a nice 1-2-3 conversion there out of the sky. Normal mode doesn't have the best options in terms of air normals. Basic close slash too heavy into activation, straight into downside. Don't press buttons. You may press YRC though. Try to do something there. And it's gonna be a big cash out. This is gonna actually deal quite a lot of damage. It wouldn't wall break, would it? No. But the downside, if you end up supering in your Moroha gauge, it will actually spend all of your remaining key gauge that you have left. So you're basically left in a situation where you have to build more to go back into Moroha. And building that Moroha might be the thing. No, we have an RC here. Should be a kill, yeah. All right. Looking a little worried there for a moment for Daugion, but able to still bring it back. And I guess technically it's not the worst thing in the world, even if you run out of Moroha and you have no more left to spend, because Aba in Guilty Gear Strive does have surprisingly good buttons. The only thing that she's missing is the mobility. Like, she can't dash properly, she can't backdash, she can't move in the air. But she does have quite good buttons. Like some of the longest 2K in the game. Her 5 heavy reaches extremely far, has a lot of disjoints. 236K, special moves are good. She's technically like not too bad. If you attached these normals to a faster character, she would actually be absolutely bonkers. Moroha Bob here will have to, or rather, has no other options but to respect here. Again, the air dash over, the reversal super. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very tempting to go for the reversal super as Aba when you are on the defensive, especially if you're out of your Moroha gauge, because that will instantly build a little bit for you and put you in Moroha if you hit the opponent. Kind of like, I draw parallels between Aba and Nago quite a bit. The same way that Nago, by hitting his reversal super, will be able to get a lot of blood back. Aba as well will get a little bit of a respite, or a little bit of a breather, if you will, after hitting that super. Here we go. Won't be able to get the anti-air. Had to try to burst, but alas, LagBoy was on top of the RPS there. But like the sage wisdom says, you might as well try rather than die a Garfield. Yeah, not to mention about the anti-airs. It's like 6B, I think it's Aba 6B is workable. It's nothing crazy to write home about. It is a standard 6B. But then you also have, for slightly different higher angles, your 2S, which will be slightly different depending on if you're in Moroha or normal mode, but both modes are pretty decent anti-airs as well. So Aba can definitely play that tower defense kind of a game if she wants to. Nice wave punish there with the fastest movement speed in the game. Best at all. Is she faster than Chip? Actually, I think she is a little bit faster than Chip. Wait, that actually didn't stick there. Gonna pop. We'll have to respect this. Yeah. It can be a little dangerous to try to throw Aba after the Moroha Pop, because technically the 10 frames of animation that you are put into are fully throw invulnerable. So if you end up unleashing the throw too early, you might actually just whip your throw and then get punished by Aba. Top speed is the same as Chip, but the acceleration. Yeah, that would kind of make sense. That would absolutely make sense, because she's a jump scare. You can act like she's the perfect example of how dash acceleration actually works when your character just like bolts into motion. Alright, with the RC, we're gonna take this to the corner. Daugion has a burst. Decides to spend it here, but won't be able to better their position. The LagBoy through the wall, hard knockdown. Still 0 Moroha gauge here. But finds the air-to-air, actually utilizing that tether a little bit, pulling LagBoy back into that conversion. I'm not even sure what you would combo out of that jump K on normal version of Aba. I mean, I guess most of your air-to-airs you can go straight into aerial key grab, right? And then she has pretty okay pickups on the ground from her normal buttons as well. Her combos are like don't require you to have very complex kind of juggles. As long as you land your close slash, yeah, you get a close slash too heavy into a key grab, or close slash too heavy into Rekka Rekka, and you're just good. Ooh, got him on the second hit of the downside. Ran out of Moroha gauge there. Good interruption. Cross up. Put yourself in a better position. Might as well spend the meter here because we have so much gasoline to spend for LagBoy. Through the wall, not quite a kill. Daugion does have quite a lot of meter though. However, with the limited movement options, got air-to-air jump B, LagBoy could still be in it to win it. But we'll have to play this coming couple of rounds extremely perfect. In fact, we'll have to play the remaining of the set almost perfect if we want to come out of this victorious in the end. Good job blocking that cross up though. Is that the easiest thing? Oh, tried to go for the fully charged 5D to finish the set, but no, the range is a little lacking there, it seems. That was actually the first time I see that fully charged 5D from Aba. Parry. Again, the jump B. This time the jump game prevents the cross-up Yosan from going active. It is a slightly slower move. Oh my god, what an interaction! Swinging into Danzai and then going into the dash follow-up of Kabari. A jump slash from the normal mode, but no substantial confirm. Here we go, Yosan, counter it. This should go into a wall break, get the kill. No, drop the combo. Baited the burst, but no punish. Gun, please save me. Anything too heavy is something. And that something will be enough to keep LagBoy still breathing in this deep water set. Even though we're extremely down, even if we still need 4 rounds in a row to win, still definitely possible. Just play tight. Attach the Kabari. Here we go with the mix-ups. Immediate burst from Daugion. Ooh, the stubby bar slash from Aba. It does move you forward a little bit, but in terms of reach, it is a very small move. Then again, on the activation mode, it's pretty much any button is extremely juiced. Go Danzai is gonna. The downside of Danzai is that it is, to a certain extent, a very hard read, hard to commit kind of button, as if the opponent just, you know, holds FD, it's gonna push your opponent basically away from your pressure range despite the plus frames. So it's kind of like a hard read saying, I think you're gonna try to struggle, I think you're gonna try to press something, I think you're gonna try to jump out, you're basically gonna do something other than blocking. But if your opponent is actually blocking during that Danzai, then not only are you gonna get them pushed really far away from you, but you're gonna run out of relatively... What's the amount? I think you're gonna spend basically 20% of your Moroha gauge doing that one Danzai or something. 15%? 15 to 20%, something like that. Right. Little kiss on the yaws, and this time we have the 50 meter to confirm. Gonna go into a wall break. Daugion still not ready to activate, and no burst either. The only tool here potentially. Oh, got clipped by the gun. Far slash is not gonna carry far enough nor high enough. Well, actually, I think that was a close slash there. Either way, LagBoy slowly looking better and better. 3 more to go. There we go, a showcase of that 5 heavy. And that 5 heavy, ooh, well, that thought we got a downside counter hit. Being the parry as well. 1, 2, 3, Rekka, they should go into a wall break. Missed the jump D there at the end, unfortunately. And now, as a result of that, is gonna pop. Tried to press the button there, but minus we are. Minus 10 to be perfectly accurate. Wow, what a 2P on the far slash. I guess the far slash hitbox is nothing to write home about either for Aba. Probably not a button that you want to be pressing too much. Alright, nice. They're keeping Aba, Baiken close and nice and close for that key activation at the end. Dash out of the corner, gonna pop again. Tried to go for the throw, but Daugion was ready for that RPS. But speaking of RPS, we're gonna repeating it. That's a smart option there. Deflect shield to push away all kinds of back, front back, high-low shenanigans. Here we go, and a good presence of mind using that Wild Assault as well. I'm not sure if you had a kill there without it, but the Wild Assault will definitely make sure that there are going to be no drops from that combo. And now Daugion again on set point. LagBoy fighting for their life here. RC should be able to get the wall break. No! Caster Curse missing the close slash. Out of there fast. Fire the yaws, and that's going to be... In fact, was that so much that was actually a punish? Into Moroha now, this is dangerous. Daugion has so much Moroha gauge ready to go. 2K into mix-up Perinos. Hard knockdown, we still have over 25%. That could be enough to finish. However, LagBoy, the parry. Oh, is that like one of the only options that can reliably challenge Danzai? Due to being, you know, the kind of reversal that it is. Okay, we have since RTL and we have Viken's parry. 2 moves in the game that can challenge it. I guess we're gonna find more later as our knowledge of the you know, of the character increases. Nice cash out. 1, 2, 3. Daugion's gonna have decent amount of resources to defend with here, and half of their key gauge. Perfect timing on the punish. Burst, still chance, hold this. And the jumpy again, good choice of buttons. You wanna engage Abba with probably your fastest button that you have available. If that jump heavy from Abba's Moroha mode goes active, there's nothing you can do. Even your best grounded anti-airs might sometimes lose against it. From my personal experience, unless you hit 6P extremely early, as soon as you see Abba's you know, feet leave the ground, you gotta be hitting that 6P already if you wanna, you know, be there in time. Right, Tatami Mat, preventing Daugion from getting that anti-air off. R/, 1, 2, 3, pop, while the opponent is on the ground, so we're still pressing with the offense, get the throw. RC, key grab. No, not gonna get any extra Moroha gauge here. This would probably be okay, completely okay for LagBoy. Daugion is slowly building resources from that positive bonus though. RC is gonna spend lion portion of them. Activate. Very limited amount of gauge here though, gonna pop very soon. And has no choice but to burst here, burst block here, rather. Did they hit? Yeah, the jump K gets tagged by the kick super. If you are pressing anything other than blocking during that kick super from Abba, you're generally gonna get caught. It starts very fast, and even if you trade with it, it doesn't disappear. So it's kind of like the same kind of function as Abba's, Viken's gun, in a way. Nice reactions. Into a key grab. We have a decent amount of gasoline ready to go. Oh, but it still powers through. Every frame of that move is gonna be armored. Low slash counter hit too heavy. Queued up the downside still. Last chance for LagBoy. Set point for Daugion. Gets thrown there because they popped. All right, we still might have a miracle. To the other side, 2PP. The 4-framer saves themselves. LagBoy still in it somehow. Got the Street Fighter third strike hit confirm, but it misses. No! Tragedy storms him. Got the hit confirmed, but was a little too far away, so that Tenchijin ended up missing in the end. Unfortunate. That was definitely still LagBoy's set to fight for. But hey, sometimes it does go like this, and no mercy from Daugion. Daugion was looking for that last game for such a long time. Really nice comeback for LagBoy. It felt like LagBoy got started a little slow, but towards the end was, you know, just going on full steam. Definitely a good set to start the evening with. And here's gonna be our only Abba mirror of the week. Meadow versus Priscilla. Let's actually attach the colors at the end of the players' names as soon as we go into the game. That'll make it extremely helpful to follow what's going on the screen. Right, doing some last minute TO shenanigans as we're queuing up for that mirror match. This mirror match is definitely goofy. Both characters, it is interesting when both are basically stationary objects until somebody activates. It's gonna be kind of nutty if the players manage to activate at the same time. What happens when Danzai goes against Danzai? I mean, I guess if you think about it from the logical standpoint, the player who unleashed the Danzai last would run out of their armor frames last as well. So don't be the one that hits Danzai first, huh? Whew, excuse me. I'm very thirsty. A lot of salty stuff for dinner. Alrighty, in we go. It's actually a long time no see for Priscilla, as far as I can remember. She's been taking a little bit of a break from Strive as of recent, but I think Abba is a well-beloved character that brought a lot of people back from the hibernation. I mean, you know, a lot of DLC characters tend to have that effect when, like, your favorite character comes out, you're extremely excited to play them, so on and so forth. So, let's see. Which player is which? Priscilla is the... what do you call this color? Orange? Is this orange?
Versus Ababa. Duel 1.
And Meadow would be pink. Alright, we're all... I look away for a second and we're already whipping Danzai here. Straight into the business we go. Fuck it, we're not talking about anything. Did I say this? No, I was like, did both of them throw out the same super at the same time? Not quite. Alright, forced to deactivate. Is that's gonna force Priscilla into lots of minus frames. 2D will definitely hit confirm into key grab. Deactivated instantly. So there's a very interesting thing to consider when trying to decide if you should go into Jealous Rage or not, is that if you activate with very little Jealous Rage gauge currently on you, that will put sort of a hard time limit on the amount of stuff that you can do. If you, instead of activating right away, build like 75% or even 100% Jealousy gauge, that will get you an extremely powerful sort of options to finish the round with only one Moroha activation. So I think that's probably going to play into optimization later when players are trying to determine when to activate, how to activate, and how much Moroha should I be building before activating. It's really a long-winded way of saying just, learn to play the character. Alright, we have one round apiece here. The jump D. By the way, that jump D from Abba is, I think, most of the time extremely plus frames. Very easy to combo into even heavier buttons such as like close slash. But it comes from your normal mode, which again has the massive problem of not being able to move around a lot. So you can easily space yourself so that the jump D will never be at like a threatening angle. But on the other hand, if you are playing against another Abba who is also a stationary target, then the two negatives might kinda like negate each other and you get more opportunities to use your jump D, perhaps. Reversal super, baited. Backsteps the other strike as well. No reason to hurry too much. Just take it easy. I'm not sure like which hit is gonna be more minus. I would imagine it's the second hit, I suppose. And if you wait for the second hit to come out, then I guess there's no margin for, or like there's much bigger margin for error. Because you could for certain... Ooh, okay, nice combo there. Utilizing the blue Wild Assault. So blue, having access to blue Wild Assault instead of the red one or the white one, I think a white one wouldn't make any sense on Aba. Because she already has like the tool that will basically do what you want white Wild Assault to. But either way, let's block there. Because she has access to the blue one, she gets to do the blue Wild Assault on block and then will always have time to activate Moroha if she so desires. Because blue Wild Assault is extremely plus on block. In fact, being the most plus on block of the Wild Assaults overall. Yeah. Gonna still burst here, Meadow. But try to dash forward there, I think. Wait, I think. So the forward dash for Aba is kind of unique in the sense that you can't really cancel her sliding forward. Once you activate the forward dash, it will kind of go through all of its frames, but you will be able to start blocking for the duration of that slide forward. All right, it's the overhead, misses the combo, though that's very unfortunate for Meadow. It's gonna run out of gauge here and get chicked by Priscilla's reversal super, putting Priscilla also into the mode. You go looking for one more hit, deactivating there. They're playing it extremely safe. I kind of like this. You did have an option to just go both to the walls there and try to finish right then and right there. But let's always remember that coming out of the mode will, I think how it works is it will recover half of the gauge that you spent during that current activation that you just had. So technically, even if you theoretically have enough Moroha mode to still like finish your opponent, there is still an inherent risk that your opponent uses like bursts or YRCs or your offense just somehow fails. And if that happens, then you might find yourself in a situation where you're just zero Moroha. Whereas if you aborted your pressure sequence and uninstalled, or when uninstall is a funny way of putting it, went out of the Jealous Rage mode, you get so much of your meter back and still have a chance to basically have more on your next activation. These are the big questions that we are always asking ourselves in terms of, you know, optimizing Aba gameplay. The activation is gonna happen for Priscilla soon here as well. 2K 2D, Reka. We'll get a decent amount of key gauge back for Meadow. There we go, very far range punish there. 5 heavy Reka. That's even if she's not the most mobile character, she still gets punishes and strikes from very far away. And her convertibility is surprisingly good. Like most of the hits that she scores, she is gonna have some sort of way to combo into. Usually like at least having access to going into straight Reka. And having good conversions or convertibility in Guilty Gear Strive is like one of the most important features. Got hit by there. Yeah, 2K 2D, Reka, and finds the big 5 heavy key swing. And that was Meadow who took the round, right? Yeah. So gonna get her first point here. Priscilla 2 points, Meadow 1 point. It's gonna be a match from here on out. That was a pretty good burst here, as Priscilla was willing to spend that Wild Assault to try in hopes of converting that 5 heavy. There are actually quite a few different ways of converting it. One would be just, you know, go straight into Reka. However, this might happen if you are too far away. It's the Rekas are gonna whiff. If you want to make sure that you always get the conversion, I think you will have to spend the Wild Assault. That should convert from no matter where from the screen you're gonna hit your 5 heavies. Then of course there are some options with the counter hits. Counter hit 5 heavy will get you either command dash into buttons, you can get tilt into buttons, and what else? There are probably other ways of converting it still. Here we go, counter hit. I guess on counter hit you can also do with Rekka 1 and then Rekka 2 is gonna hit, because like her Rekka has an interesting feature where you can still do it on with as well. Alright, here we go, Meadow. Was that a safe jump? No, it wasn't. Key grab, time to turn on the heat for Priscilla. Now blocking the overhead here. Of course, when you are in that popping motion, you always can still defend yourself. That is not going to be a true punish in any way, shape, or form. Ooh, frame trap here with the super. Luckily, Meadow was blocking here. Jump D into a frame trap, close slash. Here we go, Meadow with the hit. Immediate burst from Priscilla. Did they activate? Yeah, they tried. I think they tried to activate here and getting caught by the kick super. It's actually not a bad call out in the ABBA mirror match. If you think your opponent ABBA will try to install in the other side of the screen, like generally you would think that I can just activate here. What is the opponent gonna do? But ABBA with that 50 meter has access to that full screen check, that homing kick super that is gonna put an end to their game plan. And the most tragic thing is if the install actually goes active, not only you're taking the hit and the knockdown, but your Moroha gauge is actually gonna be counting down. Abara gauge. I mean, it might as well be Abara gauge if you think about what Abara actually means to act violently. Let me tell you, she's acting fairly violent while that gauge is active. Right, unfortunately not getting any, ooh, nice! Sees the starting frames of the tilt there. Reversal super, this is the cash out, let's see the health. Yeah, it's not gonna quite be enough. And now Meadow is gonna find herself in a situation where, yeah, very low on that Moroha gauge. 5 heavy misses, both players trying to swing a big miss. Any hit is gonna be good, and of course it's a double KO. I think both players tried to swing a S button there.
Duel 2.
All right. Well, tilt versus tilt. Meadows goes active faster. Punish on the Rekka 2? No, not quite. It is minus 15 if I recall correctly. How fast is 5 heavy actually on the startup in normal mode? I forgot. Reversal super. Interesting place to reversal super there, as Priscilla was about to be popping, so it's not like she could really input anything. All right, we are very high on the gauge here. Drop the combo, unfortunately. But no worries, Meadow has no gauge to speak of. Only potentially reversal super and now a burst available, which she potentially will have to go for, or won't have to go for, I guess. Unless the key crab whips, she tries to swing a far slash as a recovery method. But Priscilla was already doing a super, and this Danzai actually gonna power through. My goodness. And mechanically, Danzai is the kind of armored move that will not be taking any of the damage. So it's technically more like a guard point, I suppose, because you're basically nullifying all of that incoming damage. Full screen Danzai versus full screen super. I mean, you want to say you've seen everything, but with Guilty Gear, you've never seen everything. You have, you know, no matter which Guilty Gear we're talking about, you're gonna have content and new interactions and everything for the rest of your life, even if you were to just sit and play one game for the rest of the days. Or rest of your days, rather. Right, was able to block. To go for a deflect shield there. Priscilla is hell-bent on taking this round here, spending everything and the kitchen sink. And there we go. One more hit. at certain spacings where you're slightly minus but not really punishable, might be really cool places to throw out that kick super. I forgot how fast that actually starts up. I think the data wasn't on Dust Loop yet. But I mean, it seems relatively fast on start. I mean, it's not Invo, of course, but you can certainly create some interesting situations with it. Now, activation for Meadow, 100 to spend as well. This is technically gonna be enough to finish the round unless Priscilla gets a upper in there. 5k working as an anti-air, missing the combo once again. Key grab is plus even on block. Deactivation tilt and finding decent amount of K buttons to finish that round. Again, far slash from the normal mode, very stubby button. Player swinging a miss on that big 5 heavy. 5 heavy is definitely a button that has the disjoint and the reach, but it also has quite a bit of recovery, if I recall correctly. So it's not the safest button to be swinging around. And I think a lot of players realize that 5 heavy might be one of the buttons that, you know, ABBA can, to begin with, swing around at those ranges. So might be trying to fish for that with their 6Bs as well. I think normal mode, a lot of stuff is actually beaten by 6B. Or then looking at it from the other way around, Tilt, the 236K, does actually hop over a lot of far slashes. So you're kind of forced to swing that 6B if you want to call like maximum amount of her standing high profiling folks out. Alright, Meadow evening it up, 3 apiece here. Rather peaceful, or I'm hesitant to say a peaceful start. I guess peaceful in terms of you know, one for you, one for me kind of a situation. I'm heavy as an anti-air there. It is definitely one strategy to try to target ABBA's normal mode Jungie. Oh, the Danzai goes active! And a close slash with a double one, swing for the big damage. Are we gonna get the wall break? Deactivation just in time. Oh wait, that was the wrong ABBA. I was looking at the wrong gauge. Got the parry. Players at around half Moroha. So if we get the activation here, good Abare. But immediate burst from Priscilla. That reversal super is gonna, I mean, that's a small punish for sure. Better get a small punish than no punish at all. Yeah, speaking of which, so Priscilla tried to swing with a far slash there, and Meadow just casually tilted over that one. Oh, that time far slash worked though. I think that was deep enough though. But I think for the most part, like all the far slash versus 236K, aka tilt interactions I've seen, tilt usually tends to win those. It is definitely one of her strongest special moves outside of Moroha. I mean, even in Moroha, it's a very powerful move. 18 frames overhead that goes into full combo. Yeah, that's powerful stuff. Oh, nice. Counter hit combo converting into tilt and then key activation. No other stuff to do but block there. Good up on there. If the overhead whiffs in Moroha, oh, is that gonna catch? Yes, it's gonna catch the active 2B. There's been so much back and forth in this matchup in terms of using the kick super. In fact, I would say the majority of the tension gauge for both players have gone into that aforementioned super so far. And I mean, it's probably not too bad. We're still not quite sure what the optimal way of spending meter for ABBA is. Of course, we've seen some top-level players such as Gobo generally trying to use like tension mostly to refresh your Moroha gauge in the middle of combos. So like RC, pop them up, uninstall, and then install again to get like 75% of your gauge back. but she has very good utility for her supers as well. So I think no matter what you're spending your meter on as Abba, you're probably not gonna go too wrong. Oh, speaking of going wrong here, Priscilla getting a back turn incident. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. Priscilla tried to reach for the cookie jar too early. That Moroha Pop activation, or that Moroha Pop animation is fully throw-inable. And she tried to throw into that throw-in state. Alright, got the activation, and Priscilla is very high on meter here. Rather the key gauge. Big counter hit, yep. Prompting an immediate burst from Meadow. We'll have to respect here. This is actually not too bad. Was able to waste a decent amount of Meadow's jelly gauge by spending that kick super. There we go, and the conversion into blue wireless. That's very nice optimal stuff. Oh, we're still going. I'm going into the wall, not quite. Wire C, counter hit 5 heavy. Tried to hit something there, another one. Now, even though Meadow didn't get an activation out of this one, was able to build back from basically 0 to half Moroha gauge. And here we go! The cross-up hitbox, but not able to hit confirm. Again, the name of the game, the hit confirms that are slightly plaguing both players here and there. Abba is an extremely time-sensitive character in the sense that when you actually get the hits, the counter hits, the everything, you gotta be able to hit confirm most of them, right? Otherwise, you're just gonna run out of your gauge without achieving anything, and you're gonna be extremely sad. Bam, bam, bam! Big cash out. But this is unfortunately gonna put Priscilla in the other, or in the next scene without, or sorry, that was Meadow. Meadow into the next scene without any jelly to spend. There we go, crossing up as a casual drive-by. Go plus frames. Oh, but the will to swing into that. Danzai is technically +4 on block if I recall correctly, but if the opponent throws out a Danzai and you just FD it out, it's gonna push your opponent so far that even if they are still in Moroha mode, like what are they gonna do? Are they gonna risk dashing forward and try to get like into a 2k far slash range? You might find some, you know, opportunities to press buttons there if you're a maniacal freak, if your balls are massive in size, or if you're just, you know, plain old crazy. I counter hit. PRC at the middle there. An activation. This will be full Moroha, ready to go. A lot of pressure. There we go, don't try to swing into it. This is exactly what could happen. And a Danzai. I think that was 3 Danzais in a row. But of course, there was a little bit of movement back and forth in there. It's of course, you know, a lower level player might see just, you know, Abba swinging Danzai 3 times in a row, but there's it's very important what's happening between those Danzais. How much are you gonna chase between them? How much are you gonna try to cash on their respect? Do they have a time to do they have time to jump out in the in between? Stuff like that. Right, missing their 5k meaty there. And both players trying to aggressively press the buttons. It ends up being, in the end, Meadow, who was still installed. I would say both players getting decent RPS wins there. Meadow in the form of able to parry from the round start and putting themselves really high up in Moroha gauge, but then Priscilla did have the full combo key activation. Danzai goes hard once again. We'll be able to block here, yep. Returning it in kind, both players very patient and waiting the meter out for each other. I think at this point they should have decent understanding of how the opponent wants to spend that meter at full screen. So probably the safest bet is to not do anything very super dangerous. Holding FD so that we don't get chipped out. But the trade is not in Priscilla's favor, unfortunately. So it was 3-3. And after that, Meadow, our pink Abba here, has been able to take 3 rounds in a row, and now looking to go beyond that door and exit Bounty Hunter's first ABBA mirror ever as victorious. Let's see what Priscilla has to say about that. Alright, tilt. Chasing the backdash. Ooh, complete whiff there on Danzai. I guess we didn't talk about Danzai on whiff as well. I think if you whiff it Danzai completely, it can resemble an actual DP in the sense that, you know, whiffing a DP is generally going to be a punish for the opponent. Same for Danzai. It goes into recovery for such a long time, as well as there is a massive gap between the hits. I think you're not generally gonna abuse that cast, because, you know, to do something about that, you would have to go into throw range and throw her, because the second hit is gonna be armored as well, right? But like the full recovery of the move after it's done, it's quite punishable. Here we go, tilt is gonna be -1 in normal mode, and Meadow challenging into a very good combo activation, and now Priscilla is in trouble. Only deflect shield left to spend, but are we gonna spend it? I think can't really afford to do so. Even if you get that deflect shield, then what? Your opponent is still like basically full health and still activated or still in an install. Close slash. Confirmed by Priscilla. 1-2, /5 heavy. Are we gonna get the deactivation here? There's gonna be Mad Plus. Yep, gets the deactivation. And look how much meter Priscilla actually got back from that. That's I think the biggest impetus to, you know, sometimes give away your pressure, even if you have some amount of, you know, Moroha still left to spend. Just cash out, or rather, call back some of your resources that you just spent and wait for a better opportunity to strike again later. I think if you consider if that's worth doing, you have to take into account your opponent's life. If they have a lot of life still left, then I guess it's pretty no-brainer to just uninstall yourself and wait for a better opportunity to finish them. If they have like 0, ooh, but all that thought, we got a reversal super. This is a cash-out version. So Priscilla is gonna go 0 jelly here. Meadow has a lot of resources to spend and full Moroha gauge. Who got punished on the landing there. Zai is gonna not quite getting this full sequence. YRC, get off me. Just with a jump D. Was that an air throw, or did Meadow meant to go for that jump D? Nobody knows. But that far slash for sure is gonna be called out. That kick super. Going through the wall as well, venturing a little too close to the sun. Have to block here. Using the burst as well. There we go, getting the backdash. And that will actually be it. Meadow grabbing that 7th point with actually a decent tech showcase here. The 5 heavy that Meadow used caught Priscilla's backdash, which is, I think, one of the most common use cases that you want to use ABBA 5 heavy for when you are in normal mode. In fact, you use that quite often at round start. If you think your opponent is gonna backdash, then her, you know, 5 heavy, and if not just straight off 5 heavy, you can give a little bit of a micro delay, wait for their backdash to go into the recovery, and then swing with your 5 heavy. It should catch most backdashes in the game. All right, good stuff. Then, moving momentarily to the big boys league. Jalis's flag choice still cracks me up. I think we had a little bit of a miscommunication here with our bounty hunters, you know, matchmaking team and Jalis in terms of what kind of flag Jalis wanted to rock. My cubes in bio. I think what was the flag that Jalis actually wanted? It was flag of the President of the Republic of Finland. And I think we were like, what the hell does that even mean? So we just slapped the face of the newest President of Finland, Alexander Stubb, in there. So I mean, a little bit of a misunderstanding, but I think it's a good meme. it's a pretty good meme, I gotta admit. What even is the flag of the President of the Republic of Finland? I don't understand. I've never seen that before. I guess it's some sort of a variation of the Finnish flag. What? Fucking Alexander Stubb. Oh my god. It's too good, dude. It's too fucking good. Anyway, Asuka versus Abba. Yeah, I guess that would be the one. I guess that technically would be the flag that we are talking about. Let's try to send Jalis a ping as well. So I know ZoKHiZ has been playing this matchup quite a bit for these past couple of days. I think was streaming pretty much every single day. And was on the hunt for the ABBA players, grinding up that Oscar gameplay. Might as well give a shout out to ZoKHiZ if you wanna check the if you want to see ZoKHiZ in their grinding arc for install. Do I still have a shoutout command? Does this work? Yeah, that seems to be working. You can go check the man himself, now with even more hair than ever before, on twitch.tv/ZoKHiZ. But yeah, this, if there is a matchup where you're gonna get a showcase of how Abba's parry should be utilized, it will probably be this one. So it's probably not gonna be a huge surprise what's gonna happen from Asuka's side. There's gonna be a lot of cubes, and being the slow moving tower that Abba is in normal mode, she probably, to start out with, will not have a lot of other options but to try to parry the incoming cubes. On the other hand, she probably doesn't want to do anything but parry those cubes. It's an extremely important start to the round to, like, let's put it like this. If you can parry your way to 100 Moroha gauge before your first activation, that's pretty good. Because then the first time you actually get in, you're gonna have so much of that Moroha. Even if you get bursted back to neutral, you might still have like more than 75 or even half of your Moroha ready to go. Right, here it begins. Of course, it's sort of a, there we see the first parry. It's gonna be a choice for, oh, there we go. But if you do get the activation, this is what might be happening. Take a small micro dash, even a far slash is gonna reach so far. And ZoKHiZ already out of meters, or out of mana, which is technically the anti-win con for Asuka, which we say win condition for Asuka's opposition. So as I was about to say earlier, it's gonna be a choice for Jalis between, am I gonna poke into the cubes and then as a result try to, I think you have a couple of options. You could strike into a cube and tilt, or strike into a cube and cancel into your extremely low profile command dash, or then you can just parry the cube and, you know, maintain the status quo but improve your resources. Right, YRC, get off me. Let's see if Jalis is willing to spend their burst resources. Jalis is sitting on a, oh, yep, okay, we're going gold burst, finding a hit as well. We have so many tools here ready for Jalis, ready to go. ZoKHiZ, however, oh no, that's that. Then we got a kick super. I remember ZoKHiZ was talking about that kick super, how that is probably one of the biggest banes of Asuka's existence. if you are casting a spell, or if you are, you know, canceling your spell cast into, you know, redraw or mana recharge or anything, it's gonna be kind of hard to be safe against that kick super at full screen. I think even an RC is not gonna save you a lot of the time. Ooh, missing that far slash, unfortunately, or was that close slash? The Jalis on the hunt. We'll get the combo. We'll be forced to uninstall here, but ZoKHiZ is also out of mana. We go air to air, nice conversion. Got a very optimal uninstall there at the end of the combo though, as well. And first one going to Jalis. Jalis, of course, I think one of the fastest, how to put this, like one of the players who usually gets started the fastest when a new game or a new character or new whatever fighting game related comes out. Jalis is usually at the forefront of the players who are extremely fast to just pick stuff up and naturally play the game, right? I think the only, the only enemy of Jalis is his, you know, whether Jalis can maintain his concentration on that given character or a game. Motivation, that's the word I was looking for. Motivation. Wait, what? She just starts chomping on the key? Really? You that hungry, girl? Mamma mia. Alright. I think just kind of throwing that DP spell away because Jalis was still in the normal mode. A lot of the times the DP spell is not very useful, so you would love to cycle it for, you know, other different spells. But generally also you don't want to be discarding cards because that's kind of minus EV. You would much rather just cast them and be done with them. Go big, air to air. It's so hard to contest any of Abba's buttons. Into loop. A little more left. Surviving because of the mana shield. I think any other character in the game and that would have killed. Even like somebody like Potemkin. But ZoKHiZ with that mana shield of Asuka's persisting and perhaps threatening a steal on the round here. Nope, just a jump forward into, what button was that? Jump slash? I think jump slash is usually gonna be your choice of buttons outside of Moroha. Other buttons for Abba are just kind of pitiful hitboxes. Jump heavy has like an upwards reaching hitbox. Oh, again activating fast and going for that far slash. Go 6p this time, in case there are any incoming cubes. I think most of the time like 6ps are gonna be the safest kind of, or fastest kind of poke, if you will, because the determining factor is how fast your low profiles are gonna start. Of course, against certain cubes, such as green ones will actually not care if you 6p or not, because the trajectory of the multi-cubes will reach your legs or toes, your little toesies, so to speak. Right, wall break once again. Jalis, even though this is not a hard knockdown, will have a lot of Moroha gauge ready to go. It's actually fairly scary to try to challenge the soft knockdown Moroha Abba at the round start distance. I think Asuka might be one of the few characters that can kind of do it. There we go, trade. I think ZoKHiZ should be happy with that trade here, because it did waste quite a bit of Jalis's jelly and, of course, forced you back to full screen with nothing to activate with. Trying to brawl himself in. No dice though. We're shopping for spells. That's a lot of really good spells. We have the auto refresh. Yeah, I think ZoKHiZ hit the nuts here. We got the mana recovery. We got the, what's the auto refresh actually called? Forgot the real name of that spell. Auto bookmark? Bookmark? Something like that. Bookmark? Good parry, but the downside of that parry is that, oh, wait, who was it? Was it actually Jalis? No, it was ZoKHiZ playing a very interesting cross up there with a teleport. I was like, did Jalis actually get a 2S anti-air there, which would have been nutty. Nice, gets an activation just before the cubes come online. Not gonna be able to do much with this activation again. But ever so important that you get the manual uninstall whenever possible, so that you can at least, you know, store some of the, or get back some of the jelly that you just spent. Alright, finding the 2D, got the heart knocked down, backdashing out of that. What was that button? The reversal super is unfortunately not gonna reach far enough, and now we're gonna go through the wall. Of course, Abba with decent defense modifier and guts. He's gonna be able to persevere, but the biggest problem for Jalis here is how do we get that key gauge back? We won't be able to go into that install. That's one way, just gambling with it. Parry. Basically saying, okay, I think ZoKHiZ is gonna come forward and strike at me. And strike ZoKHiZ does. Didn't even need any of that Moroha that Jalis got from that. Oh my goodness, look at that range. Yeah, try to strike the cube there and then go into, was that the command dash? Abba has like surprisingly decent amount of tools to play this matchup. I think a lot of Asuka matchups are like fairly unintuitive. Like you would think that some of the characters that Asuka is weak or strong against would be otherwise. Yo, speaking of far-reaching buttons, that was a normal, all right. Did we cast? Yeah, we used the 2D, which will be called out by the kick super of Abba. Uninstall here though, so ZoKHiZ will be able to get the guaranteed block string, but not able to work out of that. I think ZoKHiZ was out of mana there, so very limited amount of things that he could do. 6B once again from half screen. Even though Abba's 6B not the horizontally most far-reaching, it will still do its job. Got the parry. Half Moroha. I got the hit from the cubes. Like we said, Abba has no life to gamble with. Basically, can afford to get hit by quite a lot of those incoming cubes. Oh, was he casting? No, this time was able to block the kick super. Here's my super though. Is that gonna complete it whip? Yes, it does. Right, at least able to jump out of the corner. Jalie spending his burst here. Just trying to put an end to this. Ah, the 5D punished by Jalis, too close. And now into the activation. ZoKHiZ trying a deflection. Ooh, nice air to air. That was way too close for comfort there for ZoKHiZ. Good decision making for sure. I think ZoKHiZ didn't have the full blue burst ready to go, so it was like, all right, if I don't do something, I have to go for this deflect shield. Otherwise, it's gonna be over before I get to that burst. However, Jalis pushing the issue here. Uninstall. Perfect. Perfect. Picture perfect. You always, if you can help it, I think that's like the most perfect wall break combo of the evening from Jalis. And a nice burst bait as well. God damn. Look at that guy, Jalis going 4-0. I think that's definitely deserved round there. So what Jalis did there, the reason why we usually consider Abba's combo routing kind of difficult is that when you get to the wall break situation, you usually want to wall stick with either a normal or a key grab so that you can first off get the uninstall and then break the wall with something that will put you back in Moroha, right? So either a key grab or your reversal super. But you never want to break the wall with your actual reversal super when it's in the cash out more or when you're in Moroha, because that will put you basically in the most horrid situation that you can ever be in, which is to go back to neutral with 0 jelly to spend. Oh, I think Jalis swung Far Slash here? Yeah, gonna be called out by that Chaos Cube. 2 teleports in hand, able to maintain safety. However, that is plus million. I think if you're willing to spend that 50 meter at full screen, yeah, again, when you have activation on, it's kind of like I will play now and you will respect me kind of a button. It's like what, it's plus 50 or plus 40 or something nutty like that. You basically have, if you have Moroha activated, you can just full screen run at your opponent and they won't be able to say much about it. Here we go, Tilt is gonna catch us an anti-air. Very nice, uninstalled and then installs back. And that will put ZoKHiZ in 0 mana as well. Oh, missed the cross-up. ZoKHiZ will have an opportunity to perhaps build the mana barrier back. It is coming back, but slowly, maybe a little too late. Jalis is gonna be cashing out this is surely, even though there's mana left. Look at this. Ah! Not only the extra damage that you get from the remaining jelly, but then the wall break as well. It's such a brutal super, and one of the reasons why Abba is probably one of the best characters in the game for finishing rounds. Probably like on par with the likes of ZoKHiZ, who just, you know, has very good combo finishing damage because of his supers. Right, jump cancel. Working with a little bit of pressure here. Nice backdash out of the tilt. And that was a very controlled round for ZoKHiZ. I think ZoKHiZ is gonna need exactly rounds like this going forward. But it's kind of hard to keep the control when your opponent is being wild like this. A DP spell is gonna pay dividends for ZoKHiZ here. Jalis, good read here, jumping out of the throw attempt into a big combo. Danger, danger, we're running out of mana. Get the uninstall, get the key grab, perfect. I think ZoKHiZ can't really do anything here. Jump forward, trying to flail, trying to escape, trying something to stop Jalis from just running it. 2 screamers in hand, what can we do? 2 stabs, I think that's not what the doctor ordered. This is basically only utility. The only offensive spell in ZoKHiZ's hand is the DP. We need to cast something really quick. But then I think Jalis knew. Jalis knew that ZoKHiZ had to cast. There was no other way to get rid of those spells. So just going into the kick super. Bar slash, 1, 2, 3. A little bit of gauge back. That time, you have to admit that ZoKHiZ has gotten decent value out of those DP spells. But again, look at this. We are casting, and the kick super will force ZoKHiZ to respect once again. It's the overhead spell. Got Jalis off the backdash. We need mana. It's one way of recharging it. And wait, who was it? Was it ZoKHiZ this time? No, it was still Jalis. Damn. Oh boy. Is like the existence of that full screen super to just checkmate ZoKHiZ, or Asuka rather. That seems rough, dude. It's kind of like you can't cast anything if Abba has 50 meter. And even throwing spells is a hard, you know, a really hard sell for Asuka, because like they can just parry your cubes. If they're standing at full screen, they can certainly react with a parry to the incoming cubes. Pop goes the Weasel, and that might actually be a kill. Wall break? No wall break. But still gets a really favorable situation with a close slash. And this has been straight wins for Jalis. Set point here, starting off the round with a successful parry. We have the required juice. But it didn't even necessarily need the tension or the burst, as long as you have enough key gauge. Activation is all that you need. A Chaos Cube, we'll have to respect it here. Gets plus frames, activate. Ooh, this is good for ZoKHiZ. Now I think this was the most optimal way of spending burst for both players. For Jalis to forcefully get at least a little bit of use out of, look at that, got so much jelly back from that uninstall. But is that gonna be enough? 1, 2, 3. Oh, Jalis might actually still steal it. 1 combo, that's a starter. And the cash out, I think, there weren't 2 good options here for Jalis. But at least getting the heart knockdown. Tilt into, not the greatest meaty, but at least we got something. One more hit. And there it is. Jalis clean sweep on the ABBA release week match against ZoKHiZ's Asuka. Damn. We're looking clean. I think this is definitely a testament to what I said about Jalis earlier. He's just so damn fast at picking up new characters and, you know, sort of adapting core concepts of a given character and just running a very simple game plan using the bare minimum of tools that you gotta have to be able to run a swift game plan on that set character. That's a very long-winded way of saying Jalis is kind of cracked, right? But also, God, the kick super is definitely one of the tools in the matchup. As well as the parry. That parry was surprisingly valuable. I mean, it's not just the parry, it's like just... You would think that ABBA poking into the cubes is not that bad, but I mean, you poke into a cube and then cancel into tilt, and if you're like anywhere even remotely close to Asuka, there is a chance that you will actually reach him and just poke him out of his spells. Tough stuff. All right, you know it, more ABBA coming. Next, stepping to the plate is Ehmu with their signature chip. Gonna be facing HiWill ABBA. HiWill, of course, a player who has been playing pretty much every single DLC that has come out for, you know, for as long as I can remember. Definitely a DLC enjoyer at heart. I mean, HiWill plays very many characters. Plays probably, like, I don't know for sure, but if I had to take a guess, HiWill probably plays most of the cast. Where did I lose our ID here? Oh, I guess HiWill correcting me and just saying, nah, I just play, you know, Ellen Bedman. I mean, fair enough. I swear I could have... Maybe, am I thinking of somebody else? I thought HiWill is one of the players who I've always seen playing during the release weeks. Then again, I mean, if you play a character for like 1 or 2 weeks, it certainly does not, you know, count as playing that character per se. So, you know, there's that. Anyway, Chip, ABBA. This will be interesting. The softest character in the game versus the hardest hitting character in the game. I would say if Chip gets caught really badly while ABBA is in Moroha mode, oh boy, it might be over. You've already seen the Touch of Death combos on Twitter. And I wonder if HiWill has, you know, tried to lab any of those set situations. And to make matters worse, Chip can't really utilize his DP to, you know, too much either, because Danzai eats normal DPs alive. But of course, you do need your activation. Try to get the wave punish. I think that was the right call out for Ehmu. Ooh, but here's the other one. If you miss the meaty Danzai timing, if your Danzai is not a meaty, it can be grabbed. That's the one other weakness of the move, is that throws will absolutely beat it. Alright, here's some classic Chip gameplay. We're breaking the wall. Funky into, what do we got? Into simple, empty low, sorry, empty throw rather. HiWill missed the micro dash there after the activation. Burst, putting Will in a situation where they're gonna be popping and have to respect the follow-up situation. Even if you sort of miss your strike on the pop animation, it's still generally gonna be fine because ABBA is, like we said, forced into that 10-frame animation where they can't do anything but block, basically. And of course, they don't have to take throws because they're a throw-in move. No, is that gonna be enough? That's gonna be a lot of hits, but probably not yet. ABBA's just so tanky, right? And I mean, she has to be. She kind of needs it. It's one of the things that you have to admit that she needs it. Probably needs every single tool that she has in her kit. All right, reaching for the keep grab, but nobody's home. Didn't even hit the door, hit the lock on the door there.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Alright, trying to fish with those kick normals. ABBA definitely has a good 2K to play this matchup with. Probably one of the furthest reaching, and it's like it's standard good like six frame startup and I think 5 frames actives and very good recovery. So it's, if my math is correct, that should be one of the best kick normals in the game to play against Chip. No? It should be technically a stop sign for Chip getting into his kick normal range, because that's kind of what Chip wants. Getting to the 5K range is like your ultimate goal to get your engine actually going. All right, nice, got the wall break there. No resources to get the heart knockdown, unfortunately. Or far slide. Saw the burst and drops the combo. All right, a little anticlimactic. Oh, Will just bet it all into the wait, that was Will in the install already? I was like, why didn't that take Will into the mode? Is it only the second hit that takes you into the mode? Wait a second, what happened here? I'm a little confused.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
I'm pretty sure Will was not in Moroha there. Both supers have tip range where the mode doesn't have charge. Yeah, it's this is the first time I see that. This time gonna win the full reversal super. And a frame trap into quick 1, 2, 3. Is that gonna break the wall? Yes, sir! Should deflect, shield, tried to swing 5 heavy, which was a little bit of a risk there. Generally, if you think that Chip will be deflected from like your point blank distance, then the 5 heavy would probably be a pretty decent bet usually. Jump to gate, drilling to the other side. Trying to find a way out of this situation. No such option was found that day, though. Damn, he was just all over. With the air alphas, even calling out the deflect shield with the command grab. Even pulling like every single trick out of the box here. Drilling into plus frames. Hold this. What you gonna do? Are you gonna press your buttons, huh? Huh? Where's that parry now? 7 frames! Yeah, just drifting forward, sees the far slash going active, knows that button is gonna be way, way, way too slow. Right, is it three straight fast wins already? Damn. I mean, I guess Chip goes kind of fast. I didn't think that the matchup would be extremely fast. Like, if Chip gets hit, his health gauge is gonna be basically... Oh, it's gonna be depleted in a matter of hits. And then on the other hand, if ABBA doesn't really get the install, then you kind of get to dance around the... What's a good analogy? You get to be the matador? You get to be the bullfighter, just dancing around the crazed bull, trying to like hit something, but always just missing. Alright, activating, going straight into downside, but again, Downside is that hard call-out option where you're saying, I think you're gonna do something here, but Ehmu had no intention of engaging. Here we go. Oh, that's another thing that you can definitely do. If you touch the armor and then RC into a throw, you can in fact save yourself against the downside. Nice, able to poke out the clone that's coming in. Good anti-airs, good Abares for Will, here we go. Now this time for sure, Ehmu's just ready to go first immediately. And putting all of those resources into good use here as well. What defensive options do we have? We have Deflect Shield, but Ehmu is kinda, I think the Deflect is gonna come out. That's like your only thing that you could have done here. Because Will didn't have the 50 meter ready to go yet for the reversal super. This should catch, yep. Guard break into million plus frames. That was kinda sweet there. Blue Wild Assault, the guard crush to uninstall safely, and then keep up the pressure still. But despite all of that, Will is again in this situation. This is kind of a checkmate. Yeah, what can you do here? Will again try to gamble, trying to desperately get into that jelly mode by using the reversal, but no dice. I think really good showcase so far here by Ehmu in terms of how you absolutely should be playing against Aba. Just try to get her to zero jelly and then keep her there. If she doesn't get parries, if she doesn't get to touch you with stuff like Rekkas or key grabs, then where is that jelly gonna come from? Nowhere, right? Right, sliding into the throw, and we'll be building back the burst from the last hit, but that was probably not the hit that Will was even looking to burst in the first place. Nice read, sees the round start, command dash, throws it. But again, the approach is thwarted by Ehmu. Yep, staying very safe, uninstall. And now, as long as Ehmu keeps this, as long as Will just doesn't get any relevant hits in, well, there's a relevant hit for sure, but this is only 25% of the gauge. Can just do one Danzai combo and it's over already. Yeah. Backdash will be caught, but in the normal mode, the kick super doesn't really give you, like, good opportunities to mix the opponent up at all. There we go. I think, was this the first round that Will actually took here? Oh, hello! Blue, I think Will might have wanted to do a deflect shield here, but got crossed up by Ehmu. Which side? Oh, the wrong side to exit! Or, wait, maybe the right side? Maybe that was good for Will, actually. That was a very interesting interaction there. Touching the back armor of downside, but then still getting caught at the end there. Big, brutal cash out, but again, we will go into zero jelly. And now, where's that jelly gonna come back from? Deflect shield. Pushing Ehmu back from that 6k. Yeah, conversion again. Positive bonus. Are we gonna use that tension to gamble for reversal again, or what? That might actually kill. Is that enough? Not quite. But the same question again, what are we using those resources for? Here's the reversal, but most of those wall break situations are gonna be safe jumps. I mean, Ehmu has technically played the empty throw quite a lot of times, so there is for certain incentive for Will to try to gamble with that reversal super. Because remember, reversal supers in Guilty Gear Strive will both call out the strike and the throw option. And especially the throw option is kind of what like Will was looking for here. In addition to going into Moroha, of course. Right, same situation again. The pressure is on and gets a trade. That was a good trade there. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff happening here. Right, Will gets a big fat activation, hard knockdown. We can mix it up here into overhead. Ehmu straight. Oh, you poked into downside. Try to RC into a successful combo. Wow, Ehmu is just so good at reading every single move from HiWill. And a lot of that is kinda like the fact that Ehmu, like, the gambles that Ehmu takes are very defensive in nature, so if he's wrong, he at worst gives pressure to the opponent, or lets HiWill go back to neutral. But if he's right, then the payout has been massive so far. Oh, but this time, run straight into the 5 heavy counter hit. Here we go. No wall break yet, but this might be actually good for Will. Trying to box Ehmu in the corner. But the ninja is out. Please stay in my blocks down. +1,000,000. Danzai +4. But Ehmu is respecting. There we go. Finally the overhead, but finally a little too late. That's not substantial enough. 6 heavy. Oh, that was definitely not the normal I expected to come out and catch Ehmu. the key suplex, if you will. I think you generally don't see that normal in many other things, but like frame traps and perhaps combos. Because it's definitely not one of your disjointed normals. Right, Ehmu. After that big combo, deflect shield works out and runs straight into the far slash. Here we go. Installing again. Yeah, it is the second hit that kinda initiates the Jalis rage mode, so I guess I can kinda see why sometimes the reversal super doesn't put you in the mode. I'm installing here, seeing what's going on. Not seeing this time. Ooh, good bait there on the deflect shield and the re-engage. Ehmu's just kinda on fire here. So, watching this matchup here versus watching the Asuka versus Abba matchup, is the takeaway here that zoning Abba is not the key, but, you know, kind of camping Abba like this, like run away is the way to go, rather than zoning, huh? Because if you're not throwing slow stuff at Abba, then like she doesn't really get her Moroha gauge back very easily. And now once again 0 Moroha. All right, we got the hit, but that is still 0 jelly. And here comes Ehmu. RC conversion should go into a wall break, or even missing that wall break is no biggie. Because once again, we are camping this girl. The funny key lady can't find the keyhole, no matter how much she's looking for it. Even the air DP, and then the setup into a jump K. Oof, mamma mia! 5K working as a makeshift anti-air here for Will. Swinging. Ooh. Ah, okay, I guess if Ehmu. Oh, here we go, sliding into Danzai. It's gonna knock Ehmu down. Yeah, this is the downside. If you try to go Danzai and then Danzai again immediately, it's kind of not gonna reach if your opponent FD'd. Here we go. Into a quick Kara super, break the wall. And again, we do have resources to defend here with, I mean, at least Gold First is not punishable. We have activated, albeit with only 25. Yeah, trying to throw. There we go. Ehmu did the one mistake that you should avoid against Abbas. Don't try to throw her Moroha pop, because that shit is throw-inable. It's very likely that you'll get thrown yourself. Here we go. Through we go. This is Ehmu on set point. Good deflect and good far slash as well. Forcing immediate burst out of Ehmu. However, there we go. Into the activation. We have a lot of gasoline. Ehmu has a lot of meter as well to defend with, though. The cool thing about Danzai is that it does armor break you, so it makes YRC impossible to perform. Nice catch on the blue wild assault. Cool combo. Can we still go on? No cash out. That would have actually, I think if Will goes for a super here, it would have been a successful cash out. What? Oh! I was like, yeah, initially hits, but then collides with the massive red hitbox of the kick super. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because even if like it doesn't necessarily lock you into the animation until like the last strike, right? It's like you need like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 hits before the actual cutscene comes out. So there's a lot of time for you to collide with stuff that is active on the field. We go with the jump Jaie. It's a really nice combo. Oh, hello! Missing with the funky messiah and still getting a 5k. I mean, that's one way to do that. Oh, Chip Zanuf, my favorite ninja. Okay, still a set point for Ehmu, by the way. 5 heavy, finds the hit. Another one. Can we get some more, or is it over? Is it over already? I think Abba should be a big girl and survive here, but next will surely be the nail in the coffin. Neutral jump. Oh, baby! And the downside is too far. That will catch. Yes, indeed. Did we get the uninstall? Yes, indeed. Go back into the install immediately. Downside second hit again. We have so little meter to work with. Ehmu says, burst. Let's RPS for the round win. And at the same time, as the extension for the set win too. Okay, well, that was relatively convincing by Ehmu. I think Ehmu was kind of like the first competitor today playing the, should we say, the lame game? I don't think Ehmu necessarily like tried to keep Abba out or anything. It's just like naturally being very slippery and being very patient, being like very defensive when Abba has resources. I think just understanding well how Abba works and not overextending is probably like the MVP of Ehmu's success here. Because I think Will tried to reach for a lot of like those hard reads where it's like, all right, I want to prevent you from playing the game, so Danzai. But if your opponent is respecting, then the Danzai is it's okay, but it's not the biggest value for, you know, the sequences or the options that you could go for. But it's a guessing game in a sense. If you don't Danzai, then they might DP, they might try to escape, they might do something. All right, on to the next one. What do we got coming next? Maria Abba. Next competitor to show us the fruit of her labor for the past 4 days. 3, 4? 4? Is it day 4? Maybe day 4, something like that. Oh, I can hear my kitten meow on the other side of the door. He's okay, baby. I'm gonna cast this and I'm gonna be with you after that. Oh. My kittens are the most adorable things in the world. Especially Luna gets really upset if I close the door for any amount of time. He just wants to be with Mama. Oh, little thing. Anyway. So Bridget versus Abba. This should be a little different compared to many matches here. So to differentiate from Abba and Chip, I think Bridget is gonna be like kind of a synthesis between somewhere between Asuka and Chip. Chip in the sense that you are very mobile and you know you have good buttons. You don't necessarily have to commit to the zoning though, which as we saw earlier, was not the most successful strategies against Abba. Then again, in terms of like the stuff you could reaction parry from Bridget, there isn't really a whole lot, I suppose, because her projectile is extremely fast. You're not gonna like parry it on reaction or anything. You might be able to parry it on the way back. There's that, I suppose. But Bridget is more the kind of zoner-ish character that like keeps you away with strikes, like fast strikes. And that's probably gonna be a little tricky to deal with for, or I mean, I would guess that would be tricky to deal with for Abba, but I mean, I'm open to be wrong. What do I know about Abba's matchup chart so far? And then, of course, evaluating the kick super here, there is a lot of things that Bridget could be doing that can get caught by the kick super. What happens if you send Roger at... You sent a Roger at Abba and then she does the kick super? Because even if you knock Abba out of the super, the tentacle will still come out, right? And do its thing. So I think it's probably like a fairly neutral exchange where both players are gonna get hit, because Abba will get hit out of the startup, and then, you know, it's really a funny thing if you perform the kick super as sort of a frame trap of sorts. Oh, funny fact, by the way, you can actually kara cancel your Rekkas, for instance, into her kick super. So you could do something funky like do your Rekka 1 and then expect your opponent to take their turn back, and then do like a hyper delayed kara cancel as a frame trap into the kick super, which might actually result in a situation where the tentacle hits, but the opponent also jabs you out of the startup of the tentacle. So that technically puts you like extremely plus, because you don't have to go through the recovery of the move anymore. I think even in normal mode, you might be able to pick that up. And of course in Moroha, absolutely, because it's like something plus outrageous amounts. But yeah, there's just so much tech still to uncover. We've seen a lot of, you know, statements about Abba's power level, and, you know, we've seen speculation in terms of where she might land on the tier list. But, you know, I don't think we have the full picture yet, to be honest. Like, yesterday was the first time I saw on Twitter, like tech analysis how key crab works, and it kind of makes sense. It works. It is a hit crab, as is whatchamacallit, the heat knuckle of Potemkin's. So it interacts in an interesting way with a lot of stuff, whereas it goes through stuff like Scapegoat or Oppose or Defend Command from Jacko or stuff like that. It's just that we haven't seen those interactions from Potemkin much, as somebody pointed it out in Finnish Fighting Game Discord yesterday, because, you know, our only hit crab is that, you know, Potemkin grab that is like kind of upwards hitting, and a lot of the stuff that you could interact with are not at the top of the screen but in front of you. So Abba is kind of like the first-ish character who gets to do many of those interactions with that hit crab. You know, maybe blazing through Oppose and just crabbing the opponent out of behind their shields that they thought were, you know, there to protect you. Nuh-uh. But yeah, a lot of stuff like that is being found on Abba as we are speaking. So who knows where we're gonna land with that character. Yeah, it is true that she is kind of supposed to be that feast and famine kind of a archetype. But at the same time, it's like we were talking about this already. It's super interesting in like depending on how the players choose to approach that feast and famine problem. Like, are they gonna go into the feast immediately? Are they gonna feast quickly and then they're gonna be in an extra large period of famine? Or are they gonna try to first struggle a bit extra while you still have life to gamble with? Build a massive reserve of that jelly and then unleash it all at the same time. I think because I think the biggest losing condition at the moment we are sort of recognizing is just going into zero jelly and returning back to normal mode. That's kind of like where it feels the worst to play this character. So I think the biggest optimizations are gonna come from, you know, just being able to keep your play as safe as possible. So, you know, quick dancing around stances, like not committing past like 50% jelly. When you get to that point where you're kinda running close to the risk of simply running out, you just abort your combo, maybe do like a RC, dance back and forth, uninstall, install again, and then even if your opponent uses burst or YRC against your next offense, it's not too bad because you still got gas left in the tank, right? So my fighting game intuition tells me that the thing that's gonna separate the strong ABBA players from the casual ABBA players is like the patience to play safe. Even when you go like get to go full throttle, even when you go activate your Moroha mode, the patience to come out of that mode early enough will probably be the focal point of the ABBA optimization. Anyway, Jaie, Bridget, for the first time. How do you pronounce that word? Or that name? Did we have a pronunciation advice on our sign-up sheets? Jaie? Jaie. That's much easier than Jaie. Jaie. Alright. Jaie it is. Alright, what's happening here? We're going into Danzai, of course. I'm calling out the backdash frames with a deep dash. Mari actually had a relatively decent amount of gas in the tank. Got the uninstall, got punished by it, but I think a small punish is completely okay for ABBA to take. Is like as long as you get to keep most of your jelly in the tank. There's just so many different names for, you know, her unique mechanics. It's like Moroha, Jealous Rage, Jelly, Gas. Like, but people call it all sorts of things, but they technically all of that means is the same one thing. Right, into the activation here. Too heavy, which is a low, and a double hitting low as well at that. Actually, we haven't talked much about her mix-up game yet. So she has that extremely powerful too heavy, which you can technically cancel both the first or the second hit. You can go into overhead, you could also go like close slash too heavy, you could go close slash tilt, like so. And tilt is what, 18 frame overhead, so it's like kind of like really hard to react to overhead. It's generally like faster than 20 frames starts being extremely hard to see, especially in online environments. Right, Maria pushing in, Jaie staying very safe though. There we go, the Starship. First DP of the round. Nice, tags Maria out of the air into a throw. Set it up. Time to take some mix-ups, but Maria has been in this conundrum before. being a Nago player certainly has faced situations where you're full blood and just kind of have no other options but to block sometimes. Very, very used to the quotation big body characters. I guess can we call her big body? I think it's like fairly. I think it's fair to call her big body, right? I mean, if what is the definition of a big body even?
Mankind knew that they.
I mean, she's definitely big body at heart, if nothing else. Right, into the low. Get the blender started. The yo-yo's gonna come back here. Ah, but no, nobody's home. Knock, knock. Trying to reach for the lock. There we go. Should be able to get. Oh, went into just the first hit of the Rekka. I think it's the second part of the Rekka, the 6S follow-up, that will give you back most of the key gauge. Got the parry there though. Big activation for Maria. Here we go. Time to test your metal. Is she dead? No way. Yeah, not quite yet. But Maria still has half the potential left. And with the massive conversion into downside does some ridiculous amount of damage. It's what, like 80, 90? 80 damage? Something like that for an unscaled hit of downside. And still, a lot of the times, it's not actually your most damaging conversion route even. I think. She has some really interesting super like niche routes, or not niche, but like advanced routes is the word I was looking for, such as the jump/jump heavy loops, and who knows what else. It is day 4, so what kind of junk can we still find for this character in the future? But now Maria in that sticky situation where you are basically zero jelly. And now the cash out. No cash out, actually. That's gonna be a soft knockdown. Drifting forward. What's gonna be the answer? Yeah, even IBing in the air. Certainly gonna land into a lot of plus frames. We go again, ready to DP that key grab. There are a couple of different options you can play against the key grab. The worst thing is just respect. I mean, getting hit is one, but the second worst thing is respecting the key grab. Because it technically doesn't matter for Aba if she lands it or not. It's gonna build a lot of Moroha gauge back even on block and put her at +2. So she would actually love you to block it if possible. So for the most part, you want to either commit to FD or a reversal if you have a meterless DP or something like that. Basically what Jaie has been doing here. Alright, find the 2K and getting another victory. Alright, good start so far.
Mankind.
If you're a Bridget fan, that is. But I mean, I think it hasn't been like hopeless for Maria or anything yet. And Maria is definitely one of those gamers who gets started a little slower. Try to go for a 2S there. Perhaps as a hard call out for James, perhaps trying to jump out. Boxing in, there we go with a massive 2S. I think the first big 2S anti-air of the evening. We do have that special angle and the cash out that actually, I think, yeah, look at this amount of rage. Bam, bam, bam. I think it's directly proportional to how much jelly you have left. I think it's something like every 25% or every 20% extra jelly is gonna produce another hit and increase the damage of that super. Something like that. Ah, yeah. DP versus Danzai. Ah, the matchup as old as time itself. Ooh, get a little bit of a kick there, and a conversion into Blue Wild Assault activates and continues the combo. That's a really cool way of utilizing Blue Wild Assault for ABBA. You don't necessarily have to always combo into it. You can just dial into it, and if they block, you have an option to activate during that guard crush and still get a... I think you can still get an... Not an airtight close slash, but you can still make it, you know, a frame trap, I believe. Here we go to the other side, using jump K on the way down. Slowly trying to close in. Bar slash, swings a miss. Unfortunately, very stubby normal in normal mode. Just a hit come from good 6B. No conversion though. But Jaie's still cooking. And look at the amount of tension that Jaie was able to build from that sequence. Full tank. Now we're mixing into a low. Yep, here we go. We have more where that came from. Maria says, no more. I want to play this round too. And we got the whip punish and the drift backwards. We get the uninstall. Engaging with the normal mode. Yeah, this is the safer play that we were talking about. 1-2, no punish there on the -15. Oh, did she catch a backdash? Yes, indeed. And that's going to be plus so much that she's going to be able to just dash in. Was that... The tilt went over 5 heavy? Oh my. Tilt is such a gorilla button sometimes, depending on the matchup. I think most matchups, you have quite a bit of stuff that the tilt can, you know, just hop over. I think we were initially being told that tilt would be like a low crushing move, but it's actually like it doesn't only crush lows, it just straight up hops over bar slashes. So yeah. Here we go, nice whiff punish into an activation. Maria's been surprisingly respectful there on the Oki. I mean, technically, if you... This is a very interesting equation that you have to solve. If you think that the opponent is gonna DP, are you gonna commit to that downside? Because downside doesn't come for free. It is like 25 of your jelly. So would you rather bait the DP by not doing anything or by doing downside? That's like something to think about. Alright, big 5 heavy, immediate burst from Jaie. Just dragging the gi forward. And finding a good reversal, here we go. Full tank. I think one thing that we have to consider is that if Bridget DPs into Danzai and then drift RCs, you are still vulnerable to that drift into throw, right? So anytime that a DP character has 50 meter to combine with their DP, you should probably be a little worried about just slapping Danzai in their face. Oh, if timed right, Danzai can't be DPR'd. Is that so? I mean, I believe it. It's I guess you would have to like. Are you trying to like find a very late hit on it or very early? Either way, Maria evens it up to 2-2 here.
Mankind. Duel 1.
All right, from the even situation, like we said, Maria took a couple of games to get things started, but oh boy, did we get the engine started here. Very patient, taking the throw. Sometimes you have to, as these quotation big body characters. Ooh, I think Maria has been consistently finding those parries against Jaie's incoming yo-yo twirl mix-ups. But now big downer there. Ooh, yeah, it's gonna go into the uninstall as well. It's like the biggest downer being comboed as ABBA when you are you know, when you have activated. We go into an empty low. And the blender keeps blendering. Putting the yo-yo in the upward position. Interesting. Do you get something specific out of that? Yo, that was a lot of respect there, just walking forward. There we go. Now this time going into the downside. Even if you get a hit there on something, unless, you know, unless they get hit in the air, downside is not gonna convert into much either. So like the time you have to wait for them to like get off the ground is it's gonna take quite a while. Meeting with the yo-yo here, 2S swinging a miss. Jaie gets a jump off. Immediately into the activate, but Maria just doesn't have a lot of jelly in the tank. Well, slash into a dig throw. Yeah, it's all that Jaie needed. Taking the lead once again. 4 points to Maria's 2. I think this is the, like, sometimes you're just gonna see a round like this. It's extremely hard for you to like 100% avoid getting put into that zero jelly situation at neutral. Especially if your opponent is basing their like defensive strategy around just trying to save their burst to burst you into that, or trying to save their meter to YRC you into that situation where you're just gonna guaranteed pop and don't get to uninstall. 6B, set up the yo-yo. Maria, nice! That was the other thing that we were talking about. The yo-yo on the way in, probably not reaction parryable, but the timer is like set. The yo-yo will always return at the same exact timing. So you can technically, if Bridget is not on your, like in your face, you can definitely time your parry so that you just get the free meter where the yo-yo activates on the way out. Still round starts. Got the hit, but no substantial returns just yet. There we go, 2 heavy counter hits. Tried to switch sides unsuccessfully though. And now Maria, no mercy for the execution errors. Yeah, missed completely with the tilt there in nightmare mode? Moroha mode? That's the one. Ooh, what a brave mash. What does Abba even go in Moroha mode from 2P? It's like 2P, Rekka Rekka? Maybe RC, uninstall, key grab. 6B, no cancel though. So Maria still having to hold it in the corner. Jaie using a lot of resources for this pressure though. There we go, finally deflect shield, but didn't even get any time to breathe. I feel like in this matchup, you probably have to have a very specific follow-up after you commit to a deflect shield. I guess the most common would be to just swing immediately with 5 heavy, but it's kind of on the slower side of things. Maybe if deflect shield pushes them away like decent amount, depending on how much like forward moving momentum they have going into that RPS exchange. Just a normal jump. Finds a close slash. No activation. URC, nice. Should get an activation this time. And a wall break as well. Well, this is gonna take Maria out of the mode, but will put her at a steady 75%. There we go, 2S anti-air straight into the key grab. I think was just worried about the burst there for a moment. I think was one of the reasons why Maria didn't, you know, go into the RC combo immediately when they had the kill. Here we go, activate, still blast frames, tried to starship, and this time it was airborne hit, so Danzai actually working as a very big starter. So very justifiable burst there from Jaie. I mean, sometimes if you get hit in the wrong place and the opponent has a lot of jelly left, you just kind of have to burst it instead of holding it until they have 0 jelly left. Alright, air dash out of the corner. I mean, 2S hits very high, but not that high. And we're just completely dry on all sorts of resources. No tension, no jelly, no burst whatsoever, and Jaie just running everything at the same time. Still 50 burst left. Are we gonna cash out? Oh, missing the super here. I mean, it doesn't still change the situation that Maria is kind of in a tough spot. I mean, technically she's one hit confirm away since Jaie didn't have the highest life left, but, you know, normal mode and all of its struggles. We're on the way back, actually catching the 6B recover. Big one! 5 heavy! Or was that far slash? Both hitting extremely fast, or extremely far. Switch sides into activation once again. We have 50 of all kinds of resources. Jaie, just go into the blue burst first. We go overhead block successfully into a super cancel. Mamma mia, that's -2. Oh, and a big cash out. Wow, that was literally going into the roulette table and being like, I play everything on black. And if she's wrong, if she gets that 50-50 wrong, oh no. It is an interesting RPS situation because it is -2 in Moroha mode. It does technically, if you are going into it from dash momentum, it can leave you at a throw distance. But there's already been some like tech in Discord, or there's been some tech flying around where if you perform the tilt as a TK input, so like you go airborne and cancel your startup frames into the tilt, then you lose the momentum completely and you never end up in the opponent's throw range, per se. And I guess to respect, if you respect your opponent and think that they are playing at like high level, you would have to assume that your opponent always will TK their tilt input, so that they will never be in the throw range to begin with. And that would mean that there is still RPS there. You're -2, but you're not throw punishable. Yep, the game is on. Right, YRC, don't want to take that mix-up that would surely come from that Kickstart My Heart, because Jaie had a decent amount of tension left to spend. It's still pretty decent for Maria in terms of jelly. We have 75, we have full burst, and we have the makings of perhaps 50 tension, but the life is slowly running out, and if Maria just gonna take it? Yeah. Gonna take the safer play here, and despite all of those resources, save the burst to next round. Right, big RPS win, even though Maria technically had to take pressure after that parry. Yeah, look at this. That is a full jelly gauge. Missing the air dash over, jump heavy, unfortunately not getting the cross up. Oh, surprisingly, not getting a whole lot done with that full stick of butter, full stick of key oil. Right, interesting trade there, but in favor of Jaie. Big starting into the close slash distance, big starter. We have 100 to make this happen. Not getting the super round, unfortunately. Maria still with a little bit of a chance here into reversal super. RC spending everything in the hopes of running some pressure, but Jaie staying in very defensive, safe position. YRC against that too heavy, don't want to take any of those mix-ups. Yeah, look at this. Just YRC into keeping Abba in block string. Basically wasted like half of her Jealous Rage. That's definitely the kind of sequence that you're looking to play against Abba in this matchup. And then, what are you gonna do against that? I think Maria was around half Jealous Rage when that YRC happened, but unless you have like meter to wire C yourself, or burst out of the situation, or deflect shield out of the situation, what are you gonna do? Like, some characters just have naturally very long block strings. Such as Bridget. Yeah, Bridget is like the queen of long block strings, kinda. Like, there's not a lot of, you know... Oh, still gets it cutting. Okay. I was like, does the Starship actually move her out of the woods? No, sir. Nuh-uh. Activating with a full jelly. Yeah, I got caught by that too heavy. Run into either too heavy or tilt is technically... Is it a mix-up? Is it a true mix-up? Can you fuzzy that? So too heavy startup is... Tilt is 18 frames and too heavy is... What is it? Should I get the frame data out? Where's my phone? I think that's like relatively legit mix-up situation. Maybe some tech heads in the chat can enlighten us. Do the key grab. A lot of resources though for Jaie. There we go, the chase again. But like we said, the Maria realized the throw is gonna spend most of your jelly. So there's, instead of pushing the offense, going into like OTG close slash into cross up jump heavy, just taking it safe and uninstalling for that 50 jelly gauge. Install too heavy is 12 frames. 16 frames? Alright. 16 and 18 are like, they're similar enough that you're not consistently gonna fuzzy guard that shit. I mean, technically, if you're a machine, if you're technically a robot, you're like, yeah, I'll consistently just block. I'll just block low 2 frames before the possible overhead timing. I guess. I'm not gonna do that ever. Oh, massive life lead here for Jaie. Maria kind of had to go for that burst. We find the overhead. Jaie very close to that blue burst. But Maria also running out. Nice install. Or rather, uninstall. Exit. We go find the low. Here we go once again. But now, we're still gonna have to... Yeah, RPS, we're gonna have to take that blue burst. And Roger coming to save the day. Yeah, unless you're already doing something like, I guess, Danzai or using your kick super, so you'll probably have to respect the killing machine, if you will. Right, Jaie has quite a decisive lead here, 6-3. But it's not like Maria has been losing these rounds very decisively either. Looking very tough here. Maria's gonna be forced into a pop here from the screen switch. Activation. It's basically gonna be a Danzai and then running out. Right, burst, but we are still... Oh, tried to reach for that 2 heavy. Sorry, 2S rather. But it's, the hitbox doesn't really, like, in normal mode, the hitbox of that 2S anti-air does not reach forward at all. It is a very vertical kind of an anti-air. Oh, is that gonna be enough? Yes, indeed. There's a relatively hefty amount of damage there on the wall break. Nice. Sees the jump out attempt, lands the anti-air 2 heavy. Whoa, bang! Into a very nice conversion. 5 heavy into command dash into 2K and then the key grab. Ah, Maria missed the finisher. Might have been a little indecisive because she was in mode currently. There are some options. If you are already in the install, you could break the wall with a kick super, or you could take the wall with a wild assault. Nice read there on the throw. Bam! And she is still in it to win it. This is like the most prototypical, what's the word I'm looking for? The most, I guess typical, most typical kind of Maria run that I've seen. give the opponent a little bit hope, and then mount the comeback later. Go, use the Wild Assault. Forced activation. Throw. It's okay. Tried to get a... Yeah, went into the too heavy a little too early there. Tried to go for the low option on the mix-up. YRC, get off me. Here we go, activation again from the Wild Assault. I think because she is such a thick girl in terms of EHP, I think her character archetype can more freely just sink the meter into Wild Assault instead of having to always save it for Blue Burst. And I mean, she is a brawling character as well, kind of like a rushdowny character who doesn't really want to Blue Burst zoners out, right? So especially in matchups like these, where the opponents are going to be running away all the time, you don't necessarily like. I guess the optimal way to spend your burst is to just Wild Assault a lot. Right, we activate. Oh, got hit by the yo-yo coming back there. Oh, it's a double. All right. But that was the first round, though, so neither player getting getting really a quotation advantage out of that. Technically, if one player had a win already, then the double KO would favor the player who was down on rounds. Wait, what happens now if they get a double KO again? Is that gonna result in draw? Or are we gonna need a third double KO in a row to get the fabled draw? Nothing happens? So the condition technically is not to so it's the condition is if two draws are if two double KOs happen in a row, the round ends immediately. Not that the last point has to be, you know, has to be double KO twice in a row. Does that even make any sense? I don't know. But while I'm talking about some completely arbitrary bullshit, Maria is closing in on Jaie. 2 more to go. Yeah, at this point, I'm not willing to bet against Maria. Even if Jaie has the advantage here, I've tried betting against Maria in these, you know, comeback situations over and over and over again through the lifespan of Bounty Hunters, and most of the time I'm losing my money. So not anymore. I think Maria is a gamer enough to potentially, you know, have this in the back. Although Jaie still, as we said, needs only one game. Only one. But speaking of ones, Maria technically needs only 1 hit as well. I mean, I guess 2 hits. It's even if you are a Moroha character and you deal a shit ton of damage, generally you're not gonna touch of that many of the characters. So you probably gonna have to dance back and forth the stances between your combos. So most of the time you're talking about like a 2-touch or 3-touch situation as Abba, even though your average damage of your combos is gonna be quite high. Or I mean, I think Abba is actually very average, because like you have to consider the amount of damage that— oh, I got the base there! Maria! Literally! She just woke up! Okay, well, last game. It was 6-3. And suddenly you wake up in the middle of a set. Huh? What? What happened? We're even? No. Oh, big counter hit, waiting for a burst out, maybe there, but Jaie holding on to it. Very momentum burst here, getting an uninstall, saving her resources. Is that gonna be a wall break? Not quite. Next hit. Starship, no fear. Downside is an option. But I mean, if the opponent goes downside there, then there is not gonna be any mix-up there. Very nice sequence for Jaie there, holding Maria in the block string as far as it took for her to pop. Overhead, forcing it. Are we... Well, initially dropping the combo, but still good air-to-air chase here out of the corner. It's like, you are on a clock, in a way when you corner pressure your opponent, but I think at the same time, Abba is one of those cool characters that can box the opponent in the corner very effectively. I mean, you would hope so, you know, considering that she can only be in that state for a limited amount of time. We go with the wall break, put some butt on it. Ooh, that was unfortunate. Missing the air dash completely, and Maria punishing on the landing there. Maria on set point. And here comes the start of the end, perhaps. Colliding, clashing with Stan's far slash there. Over. Oh, did she press a button? Yes, indeed. And here comes Maria. Danzai +4, but allows jump attempt out. She's gonna pop. Oh no, she actually got an uninstall there at the very last frame. So able to save that 25 and have an option to activate still. One normal. Oh, I mean, it was a little anticlimactic, but you know, it was gonna come back and bite Maria in the ass eventually. All right, last game of this set, or rather, last round of this set. We're breaking the wall, forced into the break with the second hit of Danzai, because there's literally nothing you can do to stop that from happening unless you RC, but that's no good. That's not efficient. All right, finding the low. Rather, oh, bets it at the most opportune moment. Here we go. What's the response? Sees the 2K coming out. Not able to block in time, or perhaps trying to press the button of her own. Lots of meter for Jaie. This is looking very good for Jaie, in fact, getting the install just in time. 50 jelly ready to go. And a life advantage, but perhaps the life advantage means nothing against a character like Bridget. Here she comes, airtight mix-up. What's it gonna be, high? Good defense from Maria. Oh my god, defending against all of that. But on the way out, getting hit by the yo-yo. That's too bad still. Normal mode though. Are we able to get the activation? Here we go! Is that actually gonna kill? No! Dash into it! Done! Zai! No! Burst out! Too late, and Maria steals it from a 3-6 situation, coming back and swinging wild. Damn, this is a Maria character for sure. Oh, baby! The last interaction there, it's so hard. Like, you know that they're probably gonna go for the Danzai in that situation, but like, you can't just hold it either. It's like, I'm gonna be -4 here. The patience to just hold it and press FD. No mortal can do that without sweating. It was a tough RPS. It was like, just before that RPS happened, just before Maria dashes in for the last mix-up, is like, your life flashes before your eyes. You see all the RPS options that have happened before it, and you're trying to figure out, what should I do? And then it's just Danzai and you die. That was a good set though. That was a really, really good set. Alright, 2 more to go. Next up we got Jungie. Russian Kai player, gonna be facing RageWolf, who usually plays Bridget, I believe. Rocking the Spanish colors. Now, it probably doesn't get more standard than this. The Footsies man, ZoKHiZ against the new hot toy? Is it a little sus to say the hottest toy that everybody has been playing with? Are we in dangerous waters here? Yeah, Parry should find probably decent amount of value here. If not just, if if not straight up just doing it against Kai's fireball on reaction, it could be just a tool that exists but forces Kai to never throw the fireball in the first place, right? Because if you know the counterplay is there, you don't even want to test them if you respect them enough. But I mean, what do I know? I've never seen this matchup before. Let's see it right here. Ooh, what a whiff punish there. Footsie's right off the bat. Whiff punishing with normal mode 5 heavy. There we go, catching the backdash. It's such a massive reach on that 5 heavy, and especially on, we were talking about this earlier, but especially on, ooh, when the opponent tries to backdash. The normal mode 5 heavy is really good at catching those. Especially since it's such a delayed move as well, that it's naturally so slow that it should be catching the timing when the opponent comes out of the backdash. Alright, big hit. This is gonna be an uninstall. Delaying the that's actually one thing that you can utilize. If you wake up with FD, it's gonna delay the Moroha pop, just like you can delay the blood pop by doing that on Nagoriyuki. Nice, good patience there. Waiting for the backdash and catching with a close slash. Yeah, just a simple far slash starter. Red wild assault, you know the deal. Red wild assault users. Oh, that was a very brave DP. RageWolf was quite far away. Dash very deep. Getting the throw. I guess that's the heavy fireball, Oki. That's one of the Oh, got the throw or got the burst. Missed the combo though. One more. Reversal super. Yeah, that's that. Yeah. Yep. RageWolf knows. If there is any sort of reversal available, that should be able to beat the close range heavy fireball, Oki. Now, if you don't do something invulnerable, you know, the fireball will of course hit as meaty and prevent you from doing stuff. So it's kind of like, as a Kai player, you're trying to check, right, do they have their reversal available? Do they have meterless reversals? No? I can go. Do they have 50 meter? No? I can go with this. Ooh, tried to downside there on Wake Up. It's a very slow guard point. My good sir, that is a 9-frame move, technically. Nice, the bar slash from Kai gets in there just before RageWolf does. I mean, the far slash in normal mode is technically 10 frames, if I recall correctly, but as we've managed to witness so far today, it leaves a lot to be desired as far as reach goes. Ooh, the bluff there into the double heavy fireball, which will of course derive a lot of plus frames out of the situation, if you can make your opponent, you know, sleep on the wheel. There we go, again, tries to backdash out of the minus frames of, ooh, that's one thing you can do for sure. Command dash under. Go RC, make sure that we got the wall break. Wall break is all we need. No, I lied. Like I said, didn't you listen, guys? I said that no Kai is gonna kill here without 50 meter. Like I said, is never gonna kill. Jungie 2-0. And I think we're gonna have a first disconnection today. I mean, we've made it this far without any situations where the spectators are dropping, so I consider that a win already. I'm fine. I'm fine paying one round of tax here for running otherwise clean event. You know. Derive the best out of worst situations. Right, so Jungie is up 2 games. And looking like, I'm not sure if they are sandbagging this round or if this is just a very convincing round for Jungie. That was perfect. Damn, what happened there? Alright, next one. At least not getting it perfect. But it seems like so far Jungie is controlling the matchup quite well. And I would definitely guess that the Kai versus Abba matchup is more along the lines of what we saw from Ehmu and who was the Abba player? From the chip matchup that we played earlier. So Jungie got that one, I imagine. Because Kai has always been like, if you consider Kai a zoner, I mean, which he isn't, of course. He's just you know, he just has very good buttons. Good buttons is, I think, the way of controlling Abba the best, probably. Like being able to pick your spots as like a very strong standard character. Such as like being a Kai, being Sin, being hell even Chip. If you can pick the spots where you play RPS, and if you can pick your basically spacings where the neutral happens, that's a massive boon against Abba. Ooh, what a call out! 5 heavy and going into a relatively decently looking combo. The only downside is that we didn't get an activation at the end there. I think generally you're trying to end most of your combos in either Rekka 2 or Key Grab for the maximum amount. Ooh, nice timing on the burst. Able to take Jungie's stock of Red Wild Assault out there as well at the same time with that burst. Ooh, but that Stun Dipper still caught the backdash from RageWolf. Pop into close slash, doesn't have anti-air this time. I think that might have actually been a very conscious attempt from RageWolf to go into that close slash, just sort of thinking that, all right, I see the jump during my pop, maybe even after the 10 frames that I have to respect here, I would have time to anti-air. But I guess no dice that time. Ooh, he definitely tried to go for it. He tried to go for the anime throw. Full screen throw. But RageWolf said no. Not this time. Right, decent combo. It's a very hard hitting combo on Abba of all things. But I mean, Kai is technically a damage machine in the corner as well. The Kisk boys do be kind of slapping the opponent when you do the corner combos. Got hit low once again. At least we are not installed this time. Have to respect the fireball. There was some sort of button there. Big frame trap between the fireball and the close slash by Jungie. Ooh, here we go. If that 5 heavy actually hit, that would have been at least half of RageWolf's life. No matter, we can look for that counter hit again. Where there is a counter hit, and Jungie just goes into the Sacred Edge so fast that there was no attempt or like even opportunity to burst out. Sees the target coming in. I think I saw the startup of Jump Heavy from Abba, which probably was a strategical mistake here. I think you generally don't go for that button unless you make a mistake. Because the hitbox of that Jump Heavy is upwards, so it's extremely ill-suited for a jump in. It's a little tricky because your best jump in Moroha mode would be Jump Heavy. So if you're just trying to autopilot into the same buttons, then you're probably going to be pressing the wrong buttons during your normal mode. Here we go. No plus frames out of that. But there we go, the call out. RageWolf basically saying, stop neutral jumping here. I'm not gonna go for the throw. RC, that should go into wall break. And a hard one at that. Yeah, that's a perfect timing to play that tap dust. High-low, take your pick. If you guess wrong, it's over. Are you gonna react to 20 frame overhead? Nope, me neither. I'm not that good. Jungie has been very aggressive, not just giving RageWolf anything. And on the other hand, RageWolf is like trying to be fairly patient, trying to pick their spots, but it just feels like Kai already has something already active from the from like a range where Abba's buttons are either slower or just can't really compare with the disjoints of Kai. It's like the combination of startup and disjoints. Of course, like Abba has a lot of disjoints available, but they are in buttons such as like 5 heavy, which it takes a couple of frames to activate, unfortunately. Alright, once again in the familiar corner here. Jungie pressing the issue. RC keep the pressure going by trying to find those counter hits. Even got the 2P mash, but no confirm out. It was from a range where 2PP would have not reached as well. So would have probably had to go for like 2P Rekka as an attempt to hit confirm. Here we go, finally some success for RageWolf. Getting a pop here. I was like, would they have time to parry there? The downside of parrying that heavy fireball would of course be that Kai gets to move in on you. You still get the 25% key gauge, but then you would probably have to take Kai's pressure and or a mix-up on the way in. So like technically I was theorizing that Kai doesn't get to throw fireballs in this matchup, but I think that's just false. If you throw heavy fireballs, then you know, the opponent just can't really go for that parry, maybe. But at the same time, you would have to be extremely awake as Abba player to be ready to call out that 5 heavy. Sorry, not 5 heavy, the heavy fireball. And that's, I think, all she wrote. Jungie, just 7 clean rounds or games. That's how it goes. That's how the cookie crumbles. It is, you know, week 1, so you know, of course, when we're reaching these higher level matches, I suppose, there will be potential for, you know, a wild card interaction like this happening, where it's like it's way too early to play the DLC character against somebody who's just very good at playing their main character. But it was valiant effort, and big thanks for RageWolf for being one of the ABBA players to participate and put on a good show this week. Last one for the road. Speaking of high-level matches, I mean, technically none of our matches are like super advanced. I think you could consider like ZoK versus Jalis being advanced bracket match for sure. But I guess, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But technically, like, it's the kind of matches we chose for this week. It was sort of consciously a little lower. Like, there were a lot of really high-level players that were left out of the roster this week because we just couldn't really, on a good conscience, match very high-level players against somebody who's playing a character for the 4th day or something. Which is kind of why, you know, usually the entry events for these new DLC characters tend to be like new DLC players versus lower and like rookies or intermediates or maybe lower end of advanced bracket at most. If it's like somebody you know that can actually, like, can absolutely pick up and play a character really fast, such as Jalis, who we saw play against ZoKHiZ earlier. Like, I on a good conscience, I don't think I could match anybody else but Jalis on today's roster against ZoKHiZ, for instance. It would just be like way too brutal. Alright, but coming back, Ulk on their main. Never seen them play anything but Mei against our resident GoatLewis, one of our resident GoatLewis players in Finland, KS. Should be familiar with that big body life piloting GoatLewis already. Of course, this character will not have access to White Wild Assault or any of GoatLewis's, you know, neutral skipping. I mean, you could consider the kick super of Abba being kind of like burn it down, no? In a way. It's not like she doesn't have neutral skips. It's kind of like she needs to have the neutral skips when it counts the most. Danzai on one hit anti-air there. Good deactivation, 2 beating. White managed to convert into anything. Was probably trying to go for the Rekka, but came out as a far slash instead. Hop into an overhead tilt. Hit confirmed. We got out of the mode. But fixing also our jelly problems. And now one activation would certainly be full jelly gauge. Let's see if KS gets the opportunity. We have a lot of resources. Full meter, a full tension bar. And soon to be blue burst as well. Ooh, all putting themselves in the corner. This could be bad. Reversal. RC? No RC! Wait, oh, they didn't have it. I thought at the start of that interaction, Ulk actually had 100 ready to go, but it disappeared somewhere. I wonder if Ulk actually FD'd there initially, or something? Or maybe I'm just blind. That's always a pretty good option as well. Commentator is blind. What a loser. Good challenge there by KS. Got a little bit of breathing room, however, Ulk willing to spend the 50 burst here, or sorry, the first. I mean, spend 50 tension as well as the burst in the end. Downside, very late. Oh, nice anti-air with a 5 heavy. That wasn't a reaction either. That was basically a prediction. As soon as KS's legs left the ground, Ulk was already like, all right, I'm gonna press 5 heavy and prevent you from jumping in with your goddamn jump heavy. All right, into the corner. I think KS was not back against the corner, so that will just naturally cross. But you kind of have to know that the up dolphin cross up is coming. If you take a micro step forward, she is in fact gonna cross behind you and be punishable.
Perfect.
But Ulk playing very fast and very furious. And getting the first game here. I would also classify KS as one of those players who are pretty good at, you know, seeing what the opponent is doing and then adjusting what they're seeing. Ooh, very nice. Got the parry there on 3K, I think it was. So now big opportunity to mix it up. Jump out. We still have a little bit of jelly to spend. /5 heavy Rekka. Are we gonna uninstall? No, we're just committing to it. And getting the forceful uninstall here at the end. Punish, yeah, 1, 2. That Rekka is gonna build 25 meter and KS immediately activating with it. But there's only so many seconds. You get like, what, 4 seconds of offensive time with that. It's not too much time. Alright, knockdown into the mix-up, empty throw. Yep, one of the go-to options of that RPS, or one of the go-to tools for Mei in that RPS situation. Nice, went under whatever the poke that was from Mei. Ooh, downside at an anti-air. Probably looking for a place to uninstall. Finds it, saves the meter. Into whipping the dolphin into a throw. More to come. Gans is like, I want to play still. Danzai! And the far slash after that. Ulk tried to commit, or tried to contest there. Nice, perfect angle for a big combo. Install, go into the loops. Good block on the overhead. But Ulk tried to, I think, was that a dolphin startup? Nice, just before runs out of Moroha. With a 2B Rekka conversion. Yeah, Ulk is being extremely Or is it OLC, actually? Let me check quick. I can't remember which is the correct pronunciation, but we'll go with it for now. As that's transpiring, KS hitting. Ooh, very nice. Still getting to preserve the Moroha after the stage transition. Of course, spending the burst. All doing the same. Oh, don't you throw any of those! Plus frames. This time gets the backdash. Yeah, I think if you FD the full duration of, or like both hits of Danzai, then depending on your character, you might or might not be able to backdash out of 5 heavy. Of course, Abba could do a micro dash 5 heavy to chase you as well. There's quite a lot of RPS to be had in that situation. Momentum burst by all. Ooh, big counter hit. No cash out though. And reactivating with a full jelly gauge. Just basic offense. This time jump out. GGST is getting so much. That's gonna stick into super perfect. We haven't seen these sequences, these perfectly routed sequences from too many players so far tonight. I think KS is like the 2nd or 3rd player who plays this. And getting massive value out of them right off the bat. It makes such a big difference, you know, getting a hard knockdown and a fully refreshed jelly gauge compared to, you know, getting neither one or just one of those. Alright, nice 2P confirmed once again. RC activate. And then for the mix-up, overhead is the name of the game this time. I think the normal with which KS ended up sticking to the wall was not one that gives you the most frame advantage, or maybe KS actually missed the uninstall input there. It's the close slash. KS still wants to play for this round, huh? Now they're gonna have to do it without any Moroha. And as one might suspect, it's gonna be fairly difficult. I just now realized that Abba actually has a key on her belt as well. She really do love those keys. Nice, calling out the throw attempt this time by 2P. Abba big counter hit. Do you have the full sequence? Yes, indeed. Wall break as well. No resources to take the big one though. Ooh, second hit. Are we uninstalling? No. Wait, KS actually got the manual uninstall there still at the end. I think if you play the manual stance exit, that can be punished, unlike going into the pop animation. So it is technically an RPS situation when an ABBA player with very little jelly left to spend
Duel 1.
comes at you, then I guess there's like an RPS. Are you gonna, like, if you read that they would just strike you and then try to sneak in a manual deactivation, then you would try to strike them, right? But then you of course risk getting counter hit and then perhaps, you know, RCing and getting a fast RC uninstall and then picking up the combo after that. Alright, here we go. Got the backdash with close slash, or sorry, far slash. Oh, why's that close slash? Yeah, that was a close slash that activated there still, huh? All hail active frames. Nice 6P. Oh, that was an OTG on the Rekkas though. Dude, oh my god, that was, wait, that was a Rekka Juckle? That was so much key gauge that KS got back there. And now having all of that juice to spend. Here we go. Blue White Assault, hard knockdown. We still have 50 jelly left. Watch the uninstall. Yeah, got the backdash with 3K. Immediate burst by Orc. 1, 2. Are we gonna get more? It's kind of cool. I think what KS was trying to do here is to spend the RC and get... Oh, no! Oh, the wall break coming to save KS's ass just in the nick of time. Ooh, bet the farm. Not punished properly, though. Oh, but into the very tricky mix-up by Ulk. I think the idea for the RC conversion was because KS was so low on the key gauge, even if he gets, even if he were to get a key grab, it would only put him at like 25% Moroha, which is not a good place to start your offense. So they tried to go for an RC after the Rekka and build a little bit more, at least 50, right? But unfortunately missed the combo there. Alright, at least we see what is going on here while Mei is in the air. Factor 5D, good anti-air, and here we go, can activate here if we want. 1-2, Rekka. It's like the key crab finish and the Rekka finish are kind of interchangeable. Rekka is gonna do more damage, and they will roughly recover equal amount of Moroha, if I understand correctly. But the setups after them are slightly different. Alright, 1-2. That should go into a kill, unless... Ooh! Wait, we got the uninstall in the middle of the combo. But KS missed the last ender. There we go, 5B. Sorry, 2P. Punish on the 3K. Ah, KS a little too impatient there on the burst. No matter, we are playing a character that can take quite a bit of punishment. Sliding in there again. The 3K is fairly fast, sliding forward, moving normal, so you could potentially, even if Abba is in Moroha mode, you could potentially get to Abba faster than the Moroha armor frames go active at 9 frames, I believe it is. No challenge this time, plus frames out of the Heavy Dolphin. Ulk running it! The classic Mei gameplay got an accidental side swap there. That is definitely not what Ulk wanted. But as a result of that, of course, both walls share the same HP. And since that was such a fast transition from the left to the, from the right to the left wall, I have to respect there. The second hit of the of downside still has the armor, right? So unless you are in position to throw Abba between the hits, you probably shouldn't challenge, which was what Ulk really realized here. Starting to pick up some speed, though, and a very decisive advantage as well. 3 games up on KS now. Here we go. Rekka, activate, and we mix. Hello is the name of the game this time. Oh, that was so tricky. Even though I'm not sure if that was accidental or if KS meant to do that, but I think I got mixed up as well. The first time I see that. Downside, yep. Right about time to challenge everything that Ulk is doing. Please don't press a button. I'm in my mode. I'm in my zone. I'm unbothered by your attempts to press buttons. Or so you'd think. Here we go, good backdash. Rekka, yeah, that's gonna be punish. As the S-Dolphin is faster than 15 frames. Here we go, get the throw. What is the setup? I think no players so far played the OTG close slash into an instant air dash cross-up. But KS did try to go for something similar here. Perhaps the F-Shiki setup? I think close slash OTG in Moroha can also lead into, or is one of the setups for the F-Shiki that we so far haven't seen yet. But I think that was an attempt. I think that was an attempt to make the mix happen. Lots of options here. Chooses the neutral jump. 1-2. Builds up Rekka. Oh! That 5D just goes nowhere for Abba. There we go. No matter what side, the dash momentum is enough to carry Chaos to the other side. And then, of course, the massive jump arc, or the swing arc of the jump heavy, is gonna take care of the rest.
Mankind. Duel 1.
I mean, when played like that, it's like not the hardest thing to see for sure, but I mean, it's not something that you would love to respect very happily either. That was a cool parry on the beach ball by Chaos, by the way. Yep, we are at full. Here we go. Blocks on lows. Very good for Ulk actually fighting back the... Able to challenge KS's Moroha mode there with your own pokes. I guess that's that kind of like is a story about how good Mei's buttons technically are, or I guess how much good variety she has. It's like having access to buttons such as 5 heavy, which is a big step sign. Technically, I guess Abba should have moves that have more disjoint, but I mean, because you're moving at such a ludicrous like 4 speed, there's a risk that you will you will just accidentally run into her buttons as well. Nice routing. Yeah, and recognizes that we can get a kill here. No need to uninstall or anything. Just slap them with the super. Or 6 heavy, whichever. Yo, chat room. Is that my boy KS just warming up?
Duel 1.
Is that KS turning on the heat here? Are we finally matching the pace of our Mei player tonight? Playing the footsies. Believe it or not, these matches is the ground-based footsies that Guilty Gear franchise is known for. There's one way to take out the beach ball, just danzai it. Tried 2B, however, out of range that time. Mei, 5k sure is a button. Trying to swing the 5 heavy, barely missing everything, and here we go once again. The 5 heavy from Mei is just a little bit faster. The same situation that KS has been losing so many times. And to add insult to injury, it's also like, it's very hard hitting as well. Nice, gets into the install. Even if we drop the combo, that's fine. We still have so much steam here. Guard crush into overhead, not able to convert. Do we have the anti-air? Not quite. Slowly running out of steam. Forced into the uninstall. Ouch! Luckily for KS, Ulk didn't quite have the 50 meter to convert here. I guess doesn't even need it, huh? Keeping up the pace, 2 games up still. KS getting a few. But Ulk not faced at all.
Man. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Also, howdy raiders from both Shambadang as well as Control Alt Cookie streams. Welcome, welcome. We're almost at the end of the roster here. Last match of the evening. We've had quite the ABBA event tonight. Every single matchup has had ABBA, and we even had one ABBA mirror. Ooh, we'll just have to respect that 5 heavy there. Trying to box Ulk in. Neutral jumps. Eventually, the S-Dolphin comes out as a surprise poke. Ooh, still got the backdash there. The 3k punish. Yes, install. Ulk says, I don't want to deal with that. Danzai costing quite a lot of meter. And even worse, Ulk got the block string afterwards. You should be able to see where this one goes. Yes, indeed. Comes from left. Activate. Looking for one more hit potentially, but Ulk staying fairly tight there. Even getting a punish on the way down with that jump heavy. Maybe one of those characters that has a pretty decent jump. Yo, that combo's okay. I mean, technically you could combo into ground buttons as well, but that that looks more swag. You gotta admit. Here we go. Get out. And then, looking for a way in. Key grab on block, very good. However... Lows, not finding their target again. I noticed that KS likes the 2K 2D basic low string on Moroha mode as well. I guess it creates slightly different kind of situation if you switch between like just me to 2K and going into me to 2 heavy. Oh, okay, into the mode we go, looking for one more hit. Is that the hit? Yes, the opponent is high. Oh no, the combo drop. As he's all got so much meter, KS will have to find a burst. Finds it. Ah, it was a heartbreaker. It was definitely KS's to take there. But so it goes. Orcs has no mercy. It's a high-level competitive gaming after all. And even if there's no money at stake,
Duel 1.
your pride and your honor is that thing that costs or is worth way more than any prize pot could ever be. And the bragging rights, of course. There we go. First 2S anti-air from Moroha this evening. I think that speaks volumes for how much, you know, players who have activated Moroha want to be waiting for the opponent. Because technically the starting point of landing any anti-air in any fighting game would be to just be willing to wait and look what your opponent is doing. But when you're playing ABBA, you don't really want to do that while you are on the clock, right? You just want to go and pressure the opponent. But like KS, I know KS as a fairly patient player. I wouldn't be like I am not surprised that it's only KS that has you know, has had that patience to actually anti-air during Moroha instead of just going in. Speaking of anti-airs, 2S finding some really nice angles against Mei. She does tend to play those angles exactly like that, where you're kind of like, is it left, is it right, coming up from above, jump too heavy, that kind of stuff. Finds the overhead, into, yes, that's gonna stick, and then, the second hit. Yeah, because the key grab technically hits twice, so even if it can sometimes have too much damage on the wall, and it ends up, you know, both sticking and then breaking as well, I think. Ooh, I think tried to go for a 6P there, but was a little late. The name of the game against Mei, of course, is no matter the Guilty Gear game, it's like how you can find those anti-airs. That close slash anti-airs surely works. Uninstall. Into. No challenge from Orc yet. Oh, I think KS was actually out of range of the throw there. Say it isn't so. Say it isn't the back turn in or the back throw incident that ends up taking the set. Yes, indeed. Orc out of the very. What's a better way of just ending a set in Guilty Gear Strive and getting a back throw into a GG? Damn. But I mean, KS had a lot of good opportunities. I think the last two games though were definitely games that KS was meant to take, right? Being able to get that throw there or whatever KS was doing. Maybe I missed the frame. I'm not sure what KS did there, but got thrown out of it. If KS keeps it tight, gets that round, gets the previous game as well. You know, it could be looking very different. It could be 6-5, but that's an alternative universe where that happened, and this time it's all coming out of that game victorious. Now I think. What was the split between ABBA winning tonight? I think... So Jalis won. Ehmu won. Maria won. RageWolf didn't win. Daugion... Did Daugion win? I think Daugion won, right? And then of course we had... had the ABBA versus ABBA mirror where ABBA won. So it's exact split, right? If Daugion won, it's 3 ABBAs winning tonight and 3 ABBAs losing tonight. So basically an even split? Right, I guess not too bad. Okay, but that'll be our show for tonight. Hope you enjoyed the first edition of ABBA Showcase today. And you know, you have to assume that players will probably want to play more of this character, even if she turns out to be very tough to play, very hard to play at high level. I think this character has like a lot of players wrapped around. What's the way that you put it? ABBA has many players wrapped around her finger. Is that how you say it? Definitely has my attention as a potential fun sub character to play. Because, you know, I think it's not an unpopular opinion or it's not a hot take that ABBA is probably the most fun character released in Guilty Gear Strive so far. I've heard a lot of players say that, and I think so myself after playing her a couple of days. Actually fun design. Not to say that there aren't characters with fun designs in Guilty Gear Strive, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that ABBA really hits different. Okay, where do we send you guys? Is there any Strive available on Twitch at the moment? It's Wasteman Weeklies. Are they? They're not doing Strive at the moment. I know none of these players. If you guys have any recommendations who to raid, I'm willing to take. If you have your best friend streaming Guilty Gear Strive or something like that. I just literally know none of these people. Zando? I'm not sure if Zando needs the viewers. I think he's doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good already. Is Lord Knight online? I'm just gonna pick like the next player on Twitch who's online. I'm not sure who this player is, but let's shot in the dark. Maybe you find a rare gem. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's Bounty Hunters. More ABBA action in the coming weeks. If you want to sign up, join my Discord. Is where all the information is gonna be thrown around. And yeah, we'll set you up with a nice match every Sunday, 5 p.m. CET. Don't get mixed up by the daylight saving time thingamajig. It shouldn't be a problem in the upcoming weeks. Anyway, it's been fun. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you again next Sunday. Till then, stay safe and bye-bye.